announce, or do you want me to?
Well, I'll get it.
Welcome, everyone. Today is April 15th, 2024. You are going to watch a softball game between Nemaha Central Thunder and the visiting Hiawatha Redhawks. I'm Cody Steinlege. I'll be doing the play-by-play. Bo Burkett here. He'll be doing a little bit of color commentary. Caleb Ridenauer doing the production as always. When we're off and running, strike one called to
Kylie Nelson.
Kylie Nelson.
She'll lead off today and play center field for him.
Nice pitch from Reagan Garrity, who's on the rubber tonight for the Thunder in the first game. Quickly down to 0-2 count. Foul tip. Nelson stays alive.
Probably a little lucky for the Thunder there that was a foul tip off the glove. The ball got away from Hermish behind the plate there. Would have been a tough play there down to 1 to get that out on a drop third strike.
Garrity getting the call from the dugout. Ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Evens out the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Garrity working with a purpose here. Probably trying to get Nelson to chase a few of these while she's got some pitches to give.
When you get up to no balls, 2 strikes, you try and work around the edges. Don't give her anything that she can square up. A little fly ball out to second base. Cook has it, and that's first out of the inning. 1 down now in the top of the first inning for Nemaha Central. That will bring up Williams.
Yeah, Addison Williams.
Addison Williams.
She'll be the pitcher tonight for Hiawatha.
Nice break. It got her to go. Good job pulling the string, working backwards in that count.
Addison saw it just a little too late there. Couldn't pull that bat back quite enough.
Fouled out and out of play. Quickly again, no balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Garrity has really been piling up the quality starts here. Had a heavy workload against Sabetha. It would have been last week. Had a really nice first game and then came in the second game to pitch as well after the first inning.
This time Williams waits on it. A little pop-up out to McKinley at shortstop. She makes a good play running to her back. 2 outs in the inning.
Nice little lazy pop flies towards the edge of the infield there, getting into the grass. That second one, kind of a tough play over the shoulder there for McKinley, but she makes it, and here we are.
Up next is Kenzie Nelson for Hiawatha. Ball 1 a little high. She'll be behind the plate for the Redhawks.
Nelson with her first home run over the fence. Got their first win of the season as well.
Just on the outside part of the plate.
If there's damage to be done in this Redhawks lineup, it would probably come from this spot.
Swung at and missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I remember Nelson playing basketball. She is a tenacious battler out there. She's a competitor.
She absolutely is. She does have a tendency. She'll dip that back shoulder from time to time and get into a bad habit of flying the ball. But when she squares it up and hits it, it goes.
Swung on and missed for strike 3 and the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Hiawatha in the top of the first. We'll be right back with the bottom of the first. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV.
Nemaha Valley Motors has been proudly serving our Northeast Kansas community for over 5 decades. Come check out our great selection of vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and GMC trucks. Don't see what you're looking for? Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Don't forget about service. Our technicians are factory trained to handle any mechanical issues, including alignments. Come experience the difference here at Motors in Seneca.
Come be a part of our family.
Welcome back. Bottom of the first inning in Thunder softball, playing the visiting Hiawatha Redhawks. We'll get through the starting lineup for Nemaha Central. First, it's going to be Maya Ganstrom. She's going to be playing left field. Do you want to take it over, Bo?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
Batting second at third base, number 1, Alex Burkett. Batting third, number 15, a junior at shortstop, Ava McKinley. Reagan Garrity, obviously, is on the mound today. She'll be batting cleanup for the Thunder. Emma Hermish slides into the 5 spot. She'll be behind the plate with Garrity tonight. Maren Heinen in the 6th spot, number 8. She'll be in right field. Sadie Haverkamp is your designated player, and she'll bat 7th tonight. Number 8, Carolyn Nordis, is playing first base for you. And Maggie Cook will round out the lineup, number 9, and she's batting 9th and playing 2nd. And then your flex player is Natalie Hamas, and she'll play center field, but not bat.
Up first will be Maya Ganstrom. Ganstrom is having an absolute tremendous year. She's hitting .515 so far on the season with 6 runs batted in. And no one on the team is even close to that batting average. So she's seeing the ball good out of the pitcher's hand so far.
And she has moved up the lineup as a result. There's a reason she's in the leadoff spot right now. She had started the season around 5th or 6th in this lineup, moved up to 4th, and has finally made it all the way to the top. You want to keep that top spot, sees the most at bats. You want your most productive hitter there.
Absolutely. Nice breaking pitch to start the game out from Addison Williams. No balls, 1 strike. Ball 1 high. Counts even, 1 apiece.
Yeah, the Thunder have started to put some things together here their last couple series. They swept Riverside on Thursday night, and as I said, they split with Sabetha, who was previously undefeated. So they handed that team their first loss of the season.
Swung on, foul down the third base line from Ganstrom. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
But a big part of that has been Ganstrom's bat. Garrity has been solid on the mound pretty much the entire season, and they've started to get some good starts from Alex Burkett, the freshman. She's had her struggles, been a little inconsistent, but has come on here this last game.
Swung on, fouled down the left field line again. And sometimes it just takes a new team time to gel, you know, playing different spots that you haven't necessarily played, getting comfortable out there. There's a lot of youth on this Nemaha Central team.
Absolutely.
Swung on, hit high to right field. Boy is tracking it, and she does make the catch for out number 1. Up next will be Alex Burkett.
Didn't look like Ganstrom quite got all of that ball, got it up in the air, and the wind may have pushed it initially and then kind of died out there.
Alex Burkett's in your 2 spot. She's hitting .212 on the year. She's got 7 singles, 3 runs batted in so far.
Yeah, in the top 4, they've got a couple spots that they haven't really been able to, they haven't gotten as much production as they'd like out of 2 of the 4 spots there at the top. But see if they can turn it around here.
Swung on, high fly ball left field. Ruckman is there. Squeezes it for out number 2.
And that has been Alex's problem. She's tended to dip that shoulder and get under the ball, and she's hit a whole lot of fly balls right now.
It looks like, I don't know, does a little dance with her hands right before that pitch comes in. Up next is Ava McKinley. Ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. McKinley having a good season as well. Hitting .262, has 2 home runs so far in the season, 5 RBIs. Swung on, line foul down the left field side. She squared that one up good. Just a little bit too far ahead of it.
Yep, just pulled that trigger a little too early, and this is a hitter that the Thunder really like to see working. When she's going, this team is going to do well. Garrity to follow her up. That's an important spot in the lineup for him.
Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to McKinley. Fouled straight back towards us. Evens out the count 2-2. We should let everyone know that that wind is cranking pretty good today. It's coming from left to right on your screen, pretty much blowing straight out towards right field, I would say. Swung on, hit high out to right field. Boy is tracking it, and she's going to make the catch for out number 3.
Deep fly balls. Looks like they saw the ball well, just couldn't quite get enough on it to really square it up and send it over the fence there. But hopefully the second time through we'll see a little bit better
Absolutely.
result.
So 0-0 ball game. You're watching Thunder softball. We'll be back with the top of the second inning.
There's a place where we all come together. A place where everyone knows your name and what the usual means to you. A place for conversations and for comfort. And the best biscuits and gravy in town. We know what it means to love a community, to be a part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Top of the second inning. 3 up, 3 down, both for Nemaha Central and Hiawatha to start out the game. Simmons is going to be the leadoff batter. She's batting in that cleanup spot for Hiawatha today. Squares around to bunt, fouls it straight back. No ball, 1 strike.
Looks like third base might have had a little bit of a late jump there. Needs to be aware of those hands moving and get down that line to pick up the ball.
You're not necessarily thinking the cleanup hitter is going to come up and square around, though, either.
Fair enough.
Swung at and missed. Quickly 0-2. Garrity once again doing a good job of working ahead in the counts. Offered at strike 3. Out number 1 in the inning.
Garrity continues to work ahead and take these batters down.
Yep, and that's exactly what she did. She got up to 0-2, and then she threw one on the outside part of the plate that the Redhawks hitter couldn't do anything with. Up next is Twombly for Hiawatha. Offered at and missed.
Haven't seen the changeup. Our last broadcast, Garrity had the changeup working on the outside half of that plate, and it was lethal.
Fouled straight back and out of play. 0-2. She did work the changeup once in the first inning. I remember she worked it backwards, came out in first pitch of the at-bat through a changeup. I think had Williams off balance.
Well, I don't know that she's all fastball here, but she, like I said, definitely hasn't been there.
There it was, yep. Shot down the third base line. Burkett over to Nordis. Good play from Nemaha Central. And that's going to be out number 2 in the inning. Up next for Hiawatha is Mendez.
Yeah, Maya Mendez plays third base for the Redhawks.
Pulled the string again. Mendez out front of it just a little bit. Foul ball down the third base line.
Good power. Struggles with the contact at times, but if she gets a hold of the ball, it can go.
Ball 1 high. First ball thrown by Garrity in the inning. She's been piping it in there to begin the inning so far. Ooh, just outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mendez being patient at the plate. And we have a quick break for a ball. Got thrown onto the field. Back to live action. Swung on and missed. Evens the count 2-2.
Let's see where Garrity goes here. She's got a pitch to work with. She can stay away from her here if she wants, but I think if she thinks she has the fastball on her, she will throw it by her.
And she absolutely did. Strikeout number 2 in the inning, number 3 on the game. That's going to be the third out of the inning. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV.
Ag Partners is a full-service agricultural cooperative owned by area farmers, residents, and businesses. And our team works every day to help contribute to their success, keeping profits in the communities we all call home. We continue to look for the right team members to grow successfully together through our core values of honesty, integrity, and teamwork. If you're looking for a career with great benefits and a focus on your future success, come join our team.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Reagan Garrity, first batter of the inning for the Thunder, as they went 1-2-3 in the first inning. It was a fairly clean inning for Addison Williams, but she did have 3 long outs, both to 2 to right field, 1 to left field. So let's see how she comes back and handles that.
Yeah, you like to see her get out of the inning if you're Sherry Nelson, the Hiawatha coach, but you really would rather not see loud outs in the first inning.
Yeah. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat. That's going to be over Sage Stover's head at second base. Garrity is rounding. She is going to stay at first. Nemaha Central has their first base runner of the game.
Garrity with a nice little squibber out there over the second baseman, Sage Stover.
She hit that squarely on the end of the bat. That was a cue shot if I've ever seen one.
Looks like we're going to get a courtesy runner here. It'll be Lena McKinley in for Garrity.
Emma Hermish now up to bat for Nemaha Central. Hitting .238 so far on the season. 1 double, 1 triple, 5 driven in so far.
Hermish is seeing the ball well. She's just triggering a little early. Good power, but it's all going down the third base line and foul.
Pulls back to bunt, and McKinley is going to be thrown out at second base. Good throw by Kinsey Nelson behind the plate. They had her dead to rights.
Yeah, I think Coach Howe would like to see a little better jump from McKinley there if we know we're going on that one.
So 1 out in the inning. Emma Hermish up to bat still. 1 ball, no strike. Fouled back. Strike 1.
Yeah, the running game is such an important part of softball. If you have a good running game, if you have players who run the bases well, it's such an effective weapon. Puts pressure on the defense. The catcher has to think about it. Just really need to be good at it.
Good spot. Addison Williams gets strike 2 called. Kinsey Nelson was calling for it high and outside, and she put it right on the glove. A little fly ball out to left field. Ruckman is coming in, and she is going to squeeze it and make the second out of the inning. That will go down as a fly out 7.
She might have lost it there just at the last second, but was able to recover and pull it off the turf there.
Two down now in the inning for Marin Heinen. Marin Heinen also hitting .238 so far on the season. Swung on, grounded to Simmons at shortstop, having trouble. Simmons couldn't field it cleanly. That's going to go down as a E6.
Yeah, and with Heinen's speed, there's no way you're going to pick her up if you don't play that cleanly. Fairly routine play that you think your shortstop should probably have. But that speed of Heinen really puts pressure on the defense as well to make that play.
You think Coach Haug is going to test Nelson here again?
It's a good question.
Strike one called. Sadie Haverkamp, the batter now for Nemaha Central.
I think this early in the game, especially with 2 outs, you can take some chances here to move that
That's
runner up.
That's what I was thinking too, especially with 2 outs.
Now, Nelson is an experienced catcher, and she will throw behind those runners on first if they fall asleep over there.
Yeah, she's quick back there, and she has a very good arm, as she showed off on that steal attempt from the top of the inning here. Swung on and missed, and that's going to be strikeout and out number 3 for Addison Williams. 0-0 game. We're going to the top of 3. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. We'll be right back.
Every day, hardworking people wake up early and open their doors to the people in their community. They provide more than just goods and services. They create relationships. Small business is alive and well, making life in our communities possible. You know what it means to support, to be part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. 0-0 game. To the top of the 3rd inning we go. Both pitchers have been fairly clean so far. Reagan Garrity's had 1-2-3 in the first and 1-2-3 in the second. She's got 3 strikeouts so far, and 2 groundouts, and 2 flyouts and 1 groundout.
Yeah, as they work through this Hiawatha lineup, you would expect to see some of the younger girls towards the bottom and the lower part of the lineup struggle to catch up to Garrity. So that right side of your infield and Marin Heinen out there in right field need to be on their toes as we work through. Quinn Boy, though, from the left side.
Quinn Boy with the slap approach. Fouls it down the first base line. Nobody's there. Going to be able to catch that.
Looks like she was way out ahead of whatever pitch that was that Garrity threw. Maybe came with the off speed, knowing she might try the slap there, and Boy had to wait on it at the front of the box, and now she switches to the right side.
Ball 1, a little low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Quinn Boy.
Coach Nelson had seen enough of the slap approach there from Boy.
Swung on, a little pop fly out to Nordis at first base. She squeezes it for out number 1. Stover will be the batter now for the Redhawks.
Stover with some decent pop in that bat. Again, another batter that will struggle with contact from time to time, but she can give it a charge when she runs into it.
Reagan Garrity is coming ahead, 1 strike.
It's a really nice pitch and a really nice location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nothing the batter's going to do with it. Froze her, gets the called strike.
Shot out to right field. That's going to drop in for a hit in front of Heinen. They're going to hold Stover at first base. And Hiawatha has their first base runner of the game.
Another little Texas leaguer out there to the right field grass, just beyond the infield. It's a long run for Marin to get in and catch that ball, and Cook would have to make a pretty nice play to turn and pull that ball down out of the grass.
I believe they're going to get a...
Now this will be a straight pinch runner.
It will, because Stover was playing at second base.
It'll be Mueller coming in for Stover to run there on the pinch run, and players have 1 re-entry. So when they sub out of the game, as in this instance, they can re-enter the game 1 time. But if they're pulled again, that's it for the day. They have to sit.
I'm glad I have a rules expert sitting next to me because, as you know, the rules vary from different organizations all the way down from high school, all the way down to Little League, so it's hard to keep them all in track. And bunt attempt. Burkett grabs it. Good play over at first base by Cook covering. That was a heck of an effort by Cook. That ball went right over top of Ruckman's head, and she had to come over and catch it on the foul side of first base. The runner does advance on the sacrifice by Ruckman, and that turns the lineup over. And Nelson will be up with 2 down and a runner at second. Swung on and missed by Nelson. No balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, Cook does a nice job to help her third baseman out there on that throw. Good play by the Thunder.
And that's not her natural position. Cook plays second base. You had Caroline Nordis crashing into the field that ball. Good job pulling the string there by Reagan Garrity. No balls, 2 strikes to Nelson. Got her chasing after the high fastball, and Garrity works out of a little bit of a jam.
Nice job by the Thunder to really limit any damage. They got a runner to first, advanced her to second, but really couldn't do anything with it. Garrity overpowers that batter to get out of the inning.
Yep, that was a great job by Garrity to come back and focus on the batter. We'll be right back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV with the bottom of the third.
What does it mean to be an independent insurance agency? Here at SBS, it means that our customers can be confident in knowing they are getting the coverage they want for the most competitive rates. With our independent status, we are able to partner with multiple competitive companies to quote your personal, farm, business, and life insurance needs. Contact your local SBS office today to find out what an independent agency can do for you.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV.
Just discussing how hard it is to come by rules experts in any of these sports, softball especially. There's hardly any rules experts out there.
Well, luckily I'm sitting right next to one. That's why you are El Presidente of the Softball Association here in town.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, but there are probably about 50 rules experts on either side of us.
Everyone thinks they know the rules. Caroline Nordis fouls one down third base line for strike 1. Caroline Nordis, another one of those youngsters on the team. Just a bit high. Evens out the count 1-1. Three freshmen starting for Nemaha Central today. Two ball, 1 strike. Good pitch from, sorry, I didn't flip around. Addison Williams.
And Nordis needs to stay aggressive here. It's really tough with 2 strikes to remember to stay aggressive. If anything is near the strike zone, you have to put the bat head on it.
Yep, got to protect. Just inside, counts full.
Caroline with much better eyes than I have.
Nemaha Central needs to find a way to get some girls on the bases.
Absolutely.
1 base runner so far, and she was promptly thrown out. Ball 4, right on cue. Nice. Caroline Nordis draws a walk.
Nice at bat by Nordis there.
It wasn't, okay, I'm going to be a rules expert. It wasn't an at bat. It was in a plate appearance.
Excuse me.
You
are correct.
For it to be an at bat, there has to be an out recorded or or a hit recorded. That was a good plate appearance. All right, learn the rules.
Do believe I nailed the part about rules experts.
Cook now up to the plate, and she squares around to bunt, fouls it back. 1 ball, 1 ball, no strikes. No balls, 1 strike. There we go. As soon as I start making fun of other people, I get it back tenfold.
Softball karma, Cody.
Oh, swung around to bunt again. Oh, they're going to take second base. Kinsey Nelson could not get the ball. 0-2 to Cook now.
Now, how do we want to score that, Cody? Would that be defensive indifference or a pass ball?
I'm filling out my thing. I don't have time to think about that. Swung on, line to left field. Ruckman is there, and she records the out. Good play by Ruckman. Hit right to her. Still had to come in and make a good catch on the ball. Now the top of the order for Nemaha Central as Maya Ganstrom come out. She flew out to right field in her first plate appearance.
And with that runner on second now, we really want to do some damage with the top part of this lineup.
Swung on, just foul down third base line. No balls, 1 strike to Ganstrom.
Just a little out front. Ganstrom with a spray chart all over the field so far. She was down the right field line on her first at bat.
Once again, that wind is blowing left-right. Fouled, and Twombly is not going to be able to reach that one. Ganstrom down in the count 0-2. Yep, these are the situations that Nemaha Central needs to cash in on. Runner in scoring position, less than 2 outs. Swung on line to Mendez at third.
Nobody home at second there, otherwise the double play is probably in effect there.
That was a more defensive reactionary play by Mendez. That thing was hit on the screws right at her. That's just a little bit of bad luck if you're Maya Ganstrom. So up next is Alex Burkett, 1 on, second base at 2 outs in the inning. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat. That's going to drop in for a hit in front of Ruckman. Ruckman can't handle it cleanly, and Caroline Nordis is going to come around to score on an RBI single. And Alex Burkett is going to take second base as the overthrow to Williams.
Heads up play by Burkett there to round the bases and take that extra one.
So would you call that an RBI for Burkett, or would they bobble in left field?
That was a nice little single there. I think that's a single no matter what happens there. The bobble happens on the pickup. So.
But do you think the runner advances if the bobble is not there?
She was going the whole way down third. I think that's up to the scorer's volition.
Fly ball out to Twombly at first base, and Nemaha Central is going to plate 1 run in the bottom of the third inning. So we will have a 1-0 game. Nemaha Central in the lead. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
Sailor Insurance has been serving our customers in the Midwest for over 90 years. At Sailor Insurance, we value every family story as we help protect their dreams and their future. Our goal is to make sure that you have the right insurance coverage to protect your family, home, farm, and business so you can focus on what truly matters. Learn more about what we can do for you at SailorInsurance.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Thunder taking a 1-run lead after the bottom of the third inning. To the top of the fourth we go. Reagan Garrity still out on the rubber for Nemaha Central. I don't know where it's at.
Finding our bearings here, folks.
Yep, sorry about that.
The wind throws us all off. I will say it's the first temperatures we've had, above 50 for a softball game this season? It's fantastic out here.
And without that wind, it would be incredibly humid. Swung on, fouled out of play from Williams. She flew out to the shortstop in their first at-bat in the first inning. Change of speed and got in front of it. Burkett over to first base. Caroline Norder squeezes it for the first out of the inning. Up next is Kinsey Nelson for Hiawatha. Struck out swinging her first plate appearance. Pulled the string, strike 1.
Right Right down the middle on that one.
You're not usually expecting them to do that with the first pitch of the at-bat. I kind of like it when Garrity works backwards.
Absolutely.
A little high, Nelson holds, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You'd like to see your hitter be ready for anything on that first pitch, especially a ball that comes down, whether it's a changeup or an off-speed pitch. Be ready to hit that ball in the middle.
Look fastball and wait on anything
that
change.
changeup.
Swung, fouled back and out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nelson. Nelson, Simmons, and Twombly.
And there's that back shoulder dip I had talked about. She has a tendency to fold the rear hinge, her back hip, just a little too far, and it drops that back arm.
Grounded out to third base. Burkett has it over to Nordis. 2 ground outs to Burkett so far in the inning. 2 down. Now Simmons is up for the Redhawks.
If you're Reagan Garrity, you gotta love that. Ground balls. You need to throw 3 pitches per batter. Nice and efficient. Get an easy first game here.
Swung on and missed by Simmons. No ball, 1 strike. How many pitches is she at?
That was pitch number 40.
She's been working really efficiently so far, especially for the 4th inning. Nice pulling the string. No balls, 2 strikes, and she's been working ahead in the count. And Hiawatha has not squared one up yet that I can remember. Swung on, fouled. Nordis is giving chase, and it's going to drop. Nobody could get to it and just put it in one of those positions that all 3 players emerge on it at the same point, and none of them can get to it.
Garrity went fastball there on the out pitch. The first pitch of the at-bat, she threw high and hard and right past Simmons and came back with a change. Let's see where she goes here. Probably working out of the zone just a little bit on 0-2.
Pulls the string again, gets that grounder over to third base. Throw over to Nordis is out. 3 outs in the inning, all ground outs to Alex Burkett at third base. 3 up, 3 down for Hiawatha. We will be back with the bottom of the 4th inning. You're watching SCTV.
Dennis Jimenez. I'm a general surgeon at Nemaha Valley Community Hospital. I grew up in Wellington. I've got a special love in my heart for rural Kansas communities, and I have family in Soldier. So the opportunity to work out here was really a blessing. So in addition to the normal emergency general surgeries and traumas, we're here for elective outpatient procedures as well, from your normal lumps and bumps, gallbladders, hernias, to your bigger surgeries, including colon cancers, other colon and rectal surgeries, breast surgeries. And for our moms, we offer cesarean sections in conjunction with their primary care provider. And if you're done having kids, tubal ligations or vasectomies. So really, if you have any surgical needs, just talk to your primary care provider and see what we can do for you.
Welcome back. Reagan Garrity, first batter for the Thunder in this inning. Takes ball inside. Reagan Garrity hit a single in the second off the end of the bat right over the second baseman. Was ran for by Lena McKinley, then McKinley got caught stealing. Inside, 2-0.
Yeah, the Thunder did a nice job of cashing in an opportunity there the last inning to scratch a run across, but there really has not been a lot of action in this game so far.
No, it's been pretty good pitching between Reagan Garrity and Addison Williams.
Williams not really an overpowering pitcher, but sometimes that can be difficult. You're used to pitchers that throw with...
Swung on, hit high, foul. No one's going to get there.
With a little bit more velocity at this level, and when those pitchers that can take a few miles per hour off throw, it messes your timing just a little bit, just enough to not really get good contact on that ball as it comes in.
I was just about to say it's going to all about timing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Garrity. 3 balls, 1 strike to Garrity. Garrity is hitting .361. She's got 3 doubles so far this year, 2 home runs, and she's driven in 9. So she's having a very good season at the plate.
She's got a 3-1 count to work with here if she sees something to drive.
Ball 4.
She does not.
And they are going to run, pinch run for her, being she's the pitcher. Lena McKinley coming back in. Emma Hermish will be the batter now for the Thunder. Runner at first, nobody on. Bottom 4.
You can bet that Nelson will have her eye on McKinley here on the bases.
Hermish squares around to bunt. Good bunt down the third base line. And it gets past the first baseman.
That should be a run.
McKinley is coming in. She's going to score easily. Hermish is going to get all the way to third base on the air. So good execution with the bunt. And who was it? Was it Williams that fielded that?
I believe it was Mendez that made that throw.
Okay. So E6. And now Nemaha Central has a 2-run lead. Still, Hermish sitting on third base, nobody out.
You'd like to see your right fielder, if you're Hiawatha, there on the break. As soon as that bunt is laid down, you've got to get in to help out.
Marin Heinen, she's going to square around to bunt. She does lay one down.
Nice bunt. Very nice.
Going to first base. They're going to try and score, and she's going to be out. Emma Hermish gets thrown out at home plate, waiting for Kinsey Nelson to throw that ball to first. Marin Heinen was not called out at first base. On the throw home, she did take second base. So Hermish will be the first out of the inning. Not all lost, though, because Heinen's heads-up base running got to second base, and now we got Sadie Haverkamp up to the plate. 1 on and 1 out, so still a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, really nice bunt by Heinen there. Laid it right up the third base line. Mendez has to come all the way in to field that ball. Does a nice job, but makes a good throw. But with Heinen's speed, they were probably never going to have a chance at her at first base.
So I have a riddle for you, Bo.
I can hardly wait.
So Jimmy Page, Hendricks, Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan. What do all those guys have in common?
They all play guitar?
They're all incredible guitar players. Yes, incredible guitar players. But they could not hold a candle to this guy that I saw playing at the Knights of Columbus on Saturday night. Now, help me out here. He looked a lot like you, had some of the same mannerisms, but it couldn't have been you because this guy had his hair combed.
That's right.
So what can you either confirm or deny? Was that you playing this Saturday night?
I did indeed play a few guitar solos on Saturday night, Friday night as well.
So how did that go for you?
It went really well. The community really turned out and supported us. It was a lot of fun. The crowd was loud, and I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah, well, we enjoyed it on Saturday night when we went. Swung on, lined out to the left field, and they're going to hold Heinen at third base. Good at bat for Sadie Haverkamp.
Runners first and third here with 1 down. We'll probably see Haverkamp on the move early here in this count.
Caroline Nordis up to plate. She drew a walk and came around to score. Squaring around. Snap throw to the shortstop behind third base, and Heinen does not bite on it.
Yeah, teams in this in the high school league like to do that little snap throw trick play to try and fool that runner on third to come down the line enough to get him out.
I think girls at this level have seen that play enough that they usually don't bite, but it's not a bad play to try. Caroline Nordis squaring around again, pulls the bat back, called strike.
It's honestly not a play that you see a lot in the travel ball circuits. It's very much the high schoolers try that much more than you'll see in a travel situation, at least in my experience.
1 ball, 1 strike to Nordis. See if they keep that bunt call on. That she is squaring around. She does lay down a bunt.
Another nice bunt.
Very good bunt, and there's no play. They do throw down to third base, but Heinen gets back in time, and the bases are going to be loaded for Cook now. Cook flied out to the left fielder in her first at-bat. Bases loaded, nobody out, or one out now in the inning.
Yeah, the Thunder with 2 across here, looking to add on.
One across in this inning.
In this inning, excuse
yes.
me, bases are loaded.
So you've been a coach for a long time. What do you think she's telling her team at this moment in the game?
Probably reminding them that their bases loaded, there's a play at the plate. If you get anything on the infield, especially if it's coming hot, let's go home and try and get that easy out at 4 and keep that run off the board.
Mm-hmm.
She had pointed out towards right field, so I'm not exactly sure what Coach Nelson is discussing right now. She's known to bring a little bit of fire to the huddle out there on the mound, so she may have a few things to discuss with the players while she's out there, but I would definitely let them know that there's a play at 4 here, and let's be heads up about it.
So Cook now the batter for the Thunder. As I said, she flied out to left field in her first plate appearance. Ball one high. Foul tipped, evens out the count 1-1.
Yeah, Williams working high in the zone here. If I'm the pitching coach, I'm probably trying to keep it low in the zone to induce some ground ball contact. As you said, you'd like to get that run at home if you can.
Swung on inside part of the bat. That's going to be an out. Good play by Maddie Simmons coming up and making the catch. 2 down now for Maya Ganstrom.
Yeah. Needs to leave the infield there to get the sacrifice. And unfortunately, that one pops out just behind the pitcher, and the shortstop's able to make the play.
But you do have the right hitter in the right position in this spot.
Absolutely.
Swung on, lined out to right center field. 1 run is going to come across. 2 runs is going to come across. Ganstrom is holding at first. And a 2-run RBI by Maya Ganstrom coming in clutch.
Yeah, really nice piece of hitting there.
Absolutely.
Got the pitch she wanted, drove it right out into the gap. All it takes is base hits.
So runners at the corner now for the Thunder. Alex Burke at the batter now. Swung on, a little nubber down to shortstop. It's going to be a close play, and they're not going to be able to catch her at first. That's going to be an RBI for Alex Burkett as Caroline Nordis comes across the plate. And Nemaha Central has scratched off 4 runs so far this inning.
And we talk about it all the time, Cody. Hitting is contagious. All it takes is one play, one good thing to happen there at the at-bat, and it tends to filter its way down the lineup.
It absolutely does. Foul tip right into Nelson's glove. Ava McKinley, the batter now. No balls, 1 strike. This is the 9th batter of the inning for Nemaha Central. Evens out the count 1-1. Garrity on deck, Hermish in the hole.
Thunder have 2 really heads-up base runners here, too. Ganstrom and Burkett can both run the bases really well.
Swung on, grounder over to third base, and she decides to throw over to 1. I don't know why she did that. She could have stepped on third base.
Yeah, not the best play by Mendez there.
Situational awareness. You need to know where the runners are. She was right on top of the bag, but she throws over to 1, and Twombly can't handle it. Bases are loaded now for Reagan Garrity.
Hiawatha with a bit of the snowball effect here. It starts to go downhill.
Swung on, hit to the gap in right center field. Nelson that's going to be over the fence. Reagan Garrity hits a grand slam, and
The center fielder winds up over the fence as well.
Yes, it was a great effort by Kylie Nelson.
She looks to be okay there, walking it off. Nice shot by Garrity, though, coming up big in that spot with 2 outs to hit it over the fence and plate 4.
That's her 3rd home run of the season so far for Garrity. Comes up in a huge spot.
Puts her into double-digit RBIs on the season as well.
She had 9 RBIs coming into this. She has 13 after 1 swing of the bat. Emma Hermish, the batter now for Nemaha Central. Little ahead of it, foul down the third base line. And all you got to do for Garrity, I mean, I'm not discrediting anything she did in that at bat, but with that wind, all she had to do was make good contact and let that wind take it over the fence. That was a great at bat.
As we said earlier with Williams, she's not the fastest pitcher in the world. She's not going to overpower you, and as you tend to work through the lineup, hitters will get good swings the later they get into that game once they kind of get that timing back down.
Hermish down 0-2 in the count.
See if Emma can battle here. As I said, she's been out ahead just a little bit here the last few weeks and down the third baseline.
Swung on, hit to left center field. That's going to be down for a hit. Hermish is going to take second, and that's going to be a ground rule double, went underneath the fence.
Thunder plating runs with 2 outs here. Very demoralizing for your opponent. You get to 2 outs and think that you're going to have a nice, easy way to get out of the inning or a quick inning, and all of a sudden the floodgates open and you're standing on the field for a half hour.
Absolutely. And it's a lot hotter out on the field than it is in the dugout. So,
especially today, we have not dealt with the heat with softball yet this season, and it does make a difference when the sun is out and the temperatures get warm. If you're not acclimated, it shows.
So Hermish sitting on second base. Nope, we're going to have a courtesy runner, Jolie Jones, coming in to run for Hermish. Hermish is the catcher. Marin Heinen hits one just foul down the left field line. No balls, 1 strike. They have certainly figured out Williams' timing so far in this 4th inning. Like we said, 2nd, 3rd time through the order, you see a girl enough, you get that timing down.
Yeah, they've almost figured her out too much. Everybody is out in front right now. Need to wait just a half a tick. Keep the hands back and drive.
Strike 2 called. Good pitch by Williams coming back.
Looked like Heinen and the umpire did not agree on that call. Marin was ready to back off the box there, and the umpire had the strike call as it came in.
Just inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Heinen. Nemaha Central has plated 8 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Swung on, grounder to shortstop. They're going to call her out at first base. So a great inning for Nemaha Central. Plate 8 runs. 12 girls come up to bat for Central in that half inning. All led by Reagan Garrity's grand slam over the right center field fence. You're watching SCTV. We'll be back with the top of the 5th.
Some are old. Some are new. Some are just right. The perfect home is a place created from the thousands of memories shared within it. A place for laughter. A place for comfort. A place for family and friends alike. We know what it means to have a place we call home. To be a part of a community. To be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Top of the 5 we go. Claire Twombly up for Hiawatha. Garrity still towing the rubber for the Thunder. Ball 1, low.
Nice to see the Thunder hang a crooked number there in the bottom half of the fourth.
How is 8 considered crooked? I always wondered that.
I think anything more than 3 is considered crooked.
Straight up and back towards us. Oh, and our production crew is going to get it. Good job, Caleb. 1 ball, 1 strike to Twombly. Yeah, come on, Caleb. Don't they give out a free piece of gum?
They absolutely do.
Oh, man. I think you owe some kid a quarter or something now, Caleb, for taking that away from him, robbing them that opportunity of getting a piece of gum. Oh. Swung on hit to shortstop from Twombly. Throw over to first base is in time. Good play by Ava McKinley at short. And the ground outs continue. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 ground outs so far hit by Hiawatha in this game. They're not able to square up Garrity so far. Up next is Mendez for Redhawks.
And as a Thunder fan, I don't want to jinx this, but as a commentator, it's really nice to see these ground balls turn into outs. The Thunder have struggled with that this season, and every ball that's come to the infield so far, they've turned into an out, and that makes a big difference in the score.
Swung on, fouled back, and out of play from Mendez. And softball is such a bang-bang sport.
Absolutely.
Any mishap or anything when you're fielding that ball is going to lead to an error and a runner at first base. So they have been playing clean, especially the left side of that infield between Burkett and McKinley. Swung on, grounder over to Burkett. Good throw over to Nordis at first base.
And yeah, you're right, Cody. The proximity of this game is just so much closer than baseball is, especially. And any bobble, any juggle of that ball, and especially with a quick runner, there's almost no chance to get him at first base. You got to be clean.
Garrity pulls the string on Boy for her first pitch. Ball 1. Strike 1 called in there. Boy flied out to the first baseman in the 3rd inning in her first at-bat. Offered at, missed. Down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, we see Maggie Cook shaded just a hair towards first base there. Looks like Boy might have a little bit of trouble catching up to Garrity, so that right side should be ready.
Oh, and Garrity pulls the string for the strikeout in the 3rd out of the inning.
That was filthy.
That was. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Nemaha Central leading 9-0. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. We'll be right back.
As a cooperative, Ag Partners has deep ties to each community we call home. Our employees have worked, lived, and volunteered alongside generations of patrons in these rural areas, building relationships through years of trust. Looking ahead at the ever-changing world and ag industry, we look forward to working and growing together to help feed the world. Ag Partners, partnering for the future.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Thunder with a 9-0 lead behind a 8-run 4th inning. Like we said, led by Reagan Garrity in that grand slam, but it wasn't just Garrity. It was single after single after single. Then Garrity obviously unloaded the bases with a grand slam, but it was just good hitting all the way up and down that order. Sent 12 girls to the plate.
Yeah, Thunder do a nice job of recognizing the pitches to drive and taking advantage.
Sadie Haverkamp, the first batter of the 5th inning. Takes ball 1 low in the dirt.
Yeah, and talking to some of the Hiawatha folks, it's been a bit of a tough season for them. As I said, they picked up their first win here recently in their last series, but they've struggled with some injury trouble, had a hard time filling out the roster. I do not believe they actually have any JV players.
Swung on foul down the third base line. No balls and 1 ball. 1 strike to Havercamp. I gotta trust my bookkeeping a little bit more than I do.
Normally the umpire will give you a nice count check.
Ball too high.
But every umpire is different. Some do it at every pitch, let you know where you're at. Some will do it every third pitch. It just depends on who's back there that night.
Swung on. That's going to be through Mendez, and Havercamp is going to be rounding first. They're going to hold her there. Good job by Ruckman getting that ball in so quickly for Hiawatha. Holds Sadie Havercamp to a single.
Good job by Sadie there. She's been on twice now.
Yep, 2 singles in the game for Sadie.
Yep, and this one to lead off the inning is a good spot to be in. We're going to get another. Now this will be should be a pinch runner Natalie Hamas.
Natalie Hamas comes in.
They're just going to switch places.
Caroline Norris now up to bat.
So it is considered a pinch runner, but since it's the flex and the designated players, they can swap spots. Does not count as a re-entry.
Caroline Norris squares around to bunt, fouls it back into the hands of Kinsey Nelson. No balls, 1 strike. What is the run rule in softball?
I believe it's 10 after 5.
That's what I was wondering too. So if Nemaha Central can plate this run, this first game will be over, I believe. Norris squares around to bunt, gets a good bunt down. Throw over to first base. They're going to get her. They're going to try. Hamas is taking third. And she's going to get in there. Standing up, technically, she should have gotten dirty.
And Coach Haug lets her know immediately, when I tell you to get down, you better get down. Nonetheless, she's in third base, 1 out. Potentially the game-winning run.
Maggie Cook now the batter for Nemaha Central. Anything to that right side halfway deep that's gonna be fouled up and caught by Twombly at first base. So 2 outs now in the inning.
Ganstrom comes to the plate, though. She's been the big hitter today.
She has.
Outside of Garrity's long fly. Ganstrom really got it started the first rally there.
Ball inside. She singled in the 4th inning, got on as part of that rally. She flied out in the first to the right fielder, and she hit an absolute screamer towards Mendez in the 3rd inning. That Mendez just made a reactionary play, putting her glove up. That's swung on. That's going to be a little bloop in front of center field. And Nemaha Central is going to come around to score. That's going to be the 10th run of the game.
And the rules experts do know the rules.
We did get it right. So Nemaha Central is going to take game 1 10-0 in 5 innings. We will take a short intermission. Be back with game 2 after we get some words from our sponsors. And we'll see you guys in about 20 minutes or so. Thanks for watching SCTV.
Ag Partners is a full-service agricultural cooperative owned by area farmers, residents, and businesses. And our team works every day to help contribute to their success, keeping profits in the communities we all call home. We continue to look for the right team members to grow successfully together through our core values of honesty, integrity, and teamwork. If you're looking for a career with great benefits and a focus on your future success, come join our team.
Nemaha Valley Motors has been proudly serving our Northeast Kansas community for over 5 decades. Come check out our great selection of vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and GMC trucks. Don't see what you're looking for? Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Don't forget about service. Our technicians are factory trained to handle any mechanical issues, including alignments. Come experience the difference here at Nemaha Valley Motors in Seneca.
Come be a part of our family.
Hi, my name is Tiffany Engelken. I'm a nurse practitioner. We are at the Nemaha Valley Hospital, and I've been doing dermatology for 20 years now, and I'm happy to be here in the community to help keep these farmers closer to home and prevent our elderly from having to drive into the larger cities to get the care that they need. So a day in the life of a dermatology clinic, the main thing that we do is skin cancer screenings. That's where my passion is. I want to make sure that we're finding skin cancers and treating them early. Our skin is our largest organ on our body. I do highly encourage head-to-toe skin exam on a yearly basis for anybody that has over 50 moles, or if they're noticing spots that are painful, bleeding, changing, growing. Other things that we see and we treat on a daily basis: acne, warts, hair loss, rashes, more or less any issue that is occurring with the skin, hair, or nails.
I'm Dr. Dennis Jimenez. I'm a general surgeon at Nemaha Valley Community Hospital. I grew up in Wellington. I've got a special love in my heart for rural Kansas communities, and I have family in Soldier. So the opportunity to work out here was really a blessing. So in addition to the normal emergency general surgeries and traumas, we're here for elective outpatient procedures as well, from your normal lumps and bumps, gallbladders, hernias, to your bigger surgeries, including colon cancers, other colon and rectal surgeries, breast surgeries. And for our moms, we offer cesarean sections in conjunction with their primary care provider. And if you're done having kids, tubal ligations or vasectomies. So really, if you have any surgical needs, just talk to your primary care provider and see what we can do for you.
I'm Erica Bletcher, and I'm a nurse practitioner, and I work in the wound clinic. Often, non-healing wounds can affect a patient's mobility, it can affect their health, and just their overall quality of life. If wounds aren't being healed, then it can also cause infection, we can cause hospitalization, more serious health conditions, and even sometimes surgeries, amputations, or death. So at the wound clinic here, we kind of look at all of that and work with patients to develop a treatment plan to get them back home and get those wounds healed as fast as possible. Growing up here, I loved the people, I love the community, so being able to come back here and work with wounds and work with the patients is the best part. I love just healing wounds, I love interacting with them, I love creating an individualized treatment plan with them and getting them back to their daily livings, and I love seeing them outside walking around healthy, happy.
Sailor Insurance has been serving our customers in the Midwest for over 90 years. At Sailor Insurance, we value every family story as we help protect their dreams and their future. Our goal is to make sure that you have the right insurance coverage to protect your family, home, farm, and business so you can focus on what truly matters. Learn more about what we can do for you at SailorInsurance.com.
What does it mean to be an independent insurance agency? Here at SBS, it means that our customers can be confident in knowing they are getting the coverage they want for the most competitive rates. With our independent status, we are able to partner with multiple competitive companies to quote your personal, farm, business, and life insurance needs. Contact your local SBS office today to find out what an independent agency can do for you.
in Nemaha County. I'm Jared Snyder, one of the family physicians at Seneca Family Practice. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a study by the state of Kansas that comes out about every year surveying our young kids in the community, ages 12 through 18. Would you be surprised to know 25% of our kids that responded between ages 12 and 18 responded saying that they had drank alcohol in the 30 days prior to the survey. And when you take into consideration and break that down, that's 4% of sixth graders, 12% of eighth graders, 34% of sophomores, and 48% of our high school seniors reporting alcohol use in the month leading up to the survey. And that's an upward trend, a year-over-year upward trend, and approaching double the state averages. Some will say kids will be kids, or if they're going to drink, they may as well do it at my house so I can have oversight. And frankly, those arguments are getting people hurt. It's leading to medical problems, addiction, and lifelong habits. We really do need to change the culture of alcohol in our community. 21 is 21 for a reason. I would just urge the community members to say, let's save some lives. The change starts at home.
Hi there, I'm Rachel Allen. I'm one of the family physicians in Sabetha, Kansas. Underage drinking isn't just an issue in terms of breaking the law. It comes with a number of both short and long-term consequences. Research has shown that alcohol use in teenage years can affect normal brain development, and has also been shown to cause a 4 times increase in alcohol use disorder. In addition, teenage drinking has been shown to cause poor school performance and has been found to increase high-risk sexual activity, injuries among teens, and even death. It contributes to 3,500 deaths in people under the age of 21 each year in the United States. Long-term health consequences must also be considered when discussing the risk of teenage drinking. In addition to increasing the rate of alcohol use disorder, it has been associated with long-term diseases such as dementia, heart disease, and stroke. I know it's tempting to consider decreasing the drinking age to 18 from 21 in the hopes of making it legal will decrease these negative consequences. When the drinking age was raised to 21, there was a 16% decrease in car accidents related to alcohol, and teenage drinking decreased by 20%. It is also shown to decrease unintended consequences of underage drinking, including drug dependence, teenage deaths, and adverse birth outcomes related to teenage pregnancies.
My name is Rich Vernon. I've been the sheriff for Nemaha County since 2006. I've actually been employed by the Nemaha County Sheriff's Office back since 1990. That puts me in my 30th year of law enforcement here in Nemaha County. Now, I grew up in this county. I'm a lifelong resident. I've lived in this county. I grew up in the 80s. There was a lot of alcohol consumption back then. I know a lot of parents look at it like we did it when we were kids, so why can't our kids do it? If you, as a parent, or your children actually allow people to come into your homes or on your lands and drink or consume alcohol or even possess it, then you could be held liable for this law. This law carries penalties up to a $1,000 fine, and it is a Class A misdemeanor, which can actually include jail time. I can tell you, after doing this for 30 years and spending those years pulling young men and young women out of ditches lifeless, that has changed my attitude towards alcohol and towards its consumption of minors greatly. And I hope and pray that anything you can do to keep that from happening in the future, you will do, and try to keep our young children alive. Thank you.
There's a place where we all come together. A place where everyone knows your name and what the usual means to you. A place for conversations and for comfort. The best biscuits and gravy in town. We know what it means to love a community, to be a part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder softball on SCTV. Thunder taking the first game 10-0 in the 5th inning. Run rules Hiawatha. We are set to take on the second game. Alex Burkett is going to be towing the rubber for Nemaha Central. Reagan Garrity, who pitched an absolute gem in the first game, she's going to take over at third. While we got a second here. 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts for Garrity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 groundouts that never left the outfield or never left the infield. I don't think a single ball left the infield.
I'm having a hard time recalling one. There were a few pop flies out early on that kind of died out there at the edge of the infield. But
yeah, the only flyouts they have are to the second baseman, the first baseman, and to the shortstop. So off we go in game 2. Kylie Nelson will be the first hitter for Hiawatha. I don't think Alex had a great grip on that. It lands about halfway between her and home plate.
Had a real nice start the other night against Riverside. 6 strikeouts, kept them off the scoreboard. See if she can follow that up with another good start here.
Ball 2.
Just a little wild here to start.
Yeah, once they get that little groove going, sometimes it takes them a little bit.
She'll be very familiar with this lineup. She plays with a lot of these girls in the offseason.
Swung on, hit high fly ball left center field. And that's going to drop in for a hit right between Holmes and Ganstrom. And Nelson is going to take second base. So a leadoff double for Hiawatha to start the game in game 2.
And this lineup likewise will be familiar with her as Nelson is there and drives it out. High fly ball out into the gap there.
Williams now the batter for Hiawatha. Runner at second, nobody out. Strike 1 called. Snap throw back from Hermish. Not snap throw, she kind of ran back Nelson a little bit. I have a feeling Nelson's kind of a pest on the bases.
Yeah, Coach Nelson will push the base running and look for delayed steals here, just anything to keep this defense off balance.
No balls, 1 strike to count to Williams. Fly ball, that's going to drop down foul.
Williams helped Burkett out there with that one. That ball was up and out of the strike zone, and she chased after it.
That's what I was just about to say. No balls, 2 strikes to Williams. Now Burkett has a couple of pitches that she can play around with, or she can come and go directly after her.
Let's see if we see the changeup from Burkett here. Her changeup has not changed as much as it needs to this season, so hitters have been able to key in on it.
Just outside. Nelson is going to go to third. Close play.
Ooh.
Good throw from Emma Hermish.
I'd like to see a replay on that one. Looked like maybe Garrity had that tag on her just a half step before that hand got into the bag. Umpire sees that from behind, probably doesn't have the best view of the tag.
So Nelson is at third base, nobody out to start top of the 1 inning. Swung on and missed by Williams. That's strikeout number 1 for Burkett.
With a runner on third, that's what you need. Strikeouts. Be nice to get another one here, but this is the dangerous part of the lineup now.
Kinsey Nelson now the batter for Hiawatha.
This is another batter that will be familiar with Burkett and her repertoire.
Strike called. Snap throw from Hermish back down to third base. Nelson back easily.
Like the aggressiveness from Hermish there. The Thunder corner outfielders, especially if that snap throw comes, you have got to work to the line and back up that throw.
Had Nelson way out in front on the off-speed pitch. Nelson down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes.
She worked away from her on that 2-second strike pitch. Let's see if she comes after her here. Burkett, not the most overpowering pitcher you could have out there. She's not Reagan Garrity, but she is crafty and she does have good movement.
Just outside. Does Alex have one of those screwballs that will tail into the hands of the?
One of her better pitches, yeah.
That's what I was thinking she was going to come back with after getting Nelson on that outside.
Watch her front foot. It will step across her body on that pitch.
Just outside, evens out the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. I couldn't remember who we were talking about if had that screwball that tailed into the hands of the pitcher or to the hitter.
Yeah, and a right-handed hitter, it will break in on the hands of a hitter. It's nice for a left-handed hitter because it tails away. For anybody that wanted to slap, you can keep it away from them.
Swung on, hit. That's going to be down. And Kylie Nelson is going to come in and score the first run of the game for Hiawatha on an RBI single from Kinsey Nelson.
Looks like they did come in on the hands there, but Nelson able to kind of muscle it out there into right center field for a hit and brings home the run.
And Nelson is a very, very strong girl.
Yeah. She's a good hitter. She's a very good hitter. Seen a lot of pitches in her career.
Simmons now up to bat for Hiawatha. Batting from the left side. Little pop-up down to first base. Nordis catches it, and she gets... Oh! They called her safe at first base. They called her
confused here.
Someone's got to get on second base now.
I assume we will see Coach Howe come out and
there.
An explanation
Oh
on that.
My gosh, there is no way that she was safe. I apologize. But good heads-up play by Caroline Nordis. So Simmons is going to fly out to 3.
I believe what we'll get here is if the umpire was blocked on that play, he will ask for an appeal from his home plate umpire and see if we can't get the right call made here.
From our vantage point. And they do overturn it. They are going to be double her up at first base. That's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. That was the correct call. She was
Absolutely.
out by...
She was clearly out.
Yes. So good job by the umpire and the officiating crew getting together and working that out. To the bottom 1 we go. Hiawatha with a 1-0 lead. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
Just a few miles out of town, the pavement ends. The world opens up, and you can see for miles. For generations, families have planted and harvested, struggled and prospered, all working together to build something better for the next in line. We know what it means to love a lifestyle, to be a part of a tradition, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Hiawatha able to scratch across 1 run in the top of the 1st inning. Nemaha Central's chance now. They're going to have Ganstrom, Burkett, and McKinley up to bat, first 3 of the order.
Looks like the Redhawks in the field here will have Twombly at first base. Simmons is your pitcher. Addison Williams behind the plate this game. Kenzie Nelson will take over at shortstop. Maya Mendez at 3rd base again. Sage Stouffer at 2nd base as well. Be Kylie Nelson, I believe, headed out to center field there. Kaylee Ruckman will take left again. Quinn Boy in right field.
Well, we got a quick second. Let's take a second and recognize some of our sponsors. Rainbow Communications, Sailor Insurance, Elk State Bank, United Methodist Church, and Water Conditioning of Seneca. Mike Ganstrom will be the first batter of the inning for Nemaha Central. High and outside, ball 1. Ganstrom is having a phenomenal year so far. This is the stats before the first game, but she was hitting .515 with 6 RBIs. In on the hand, swung and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled back, hits the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Simmons has an interesting delivery. Her drive foot tends to leave the ground. And 2 years ago, that probably would have been considered a crow hop. But that rule was recently, I'd say, edited. It wasn't changed.
Yes.
But they will allow you now to leave the field completely when you drive off. I believe they call it leaping.
Foul tip. Ganstrom stays alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And the way the rule is written, the crow hop still exists, but I believe the rule is ambiguous enough that you will never find an umpire that is going to call a crow hop at this point with the way that the rule is worded. I think it came into play so that pitchers could clear the hole that tends to get dug in the front of the mound or in front of that pitching plate. But nonetheless, you can now leave the ground as you drive off and pitch.
Maya Ganstrom able to work the count full after being down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on, hit. That's going to be past Stover and Twombly. Nice, easy swinging single for Ganstrom. Nemaha Central has their first base runner of the day.
Yep.
Of the second game, sorry.
Ganstrom living right there. Had a nice little ground ball that just found its way past second base and first there into right field for a single.
Well, baseball and softball have a way of evening out. Ganstrom hit an absolute bullet to Maya Mendez in the first game. That it would have been a triple probably, but Mendez able to get her glove up, so then you get a soft little grounder just in the perfect spot. Burkett squaring around to bunt, fouls it back.
Alex decided she wanted to bunt on a pitch that was that a foot above her head maybe?
That was just a little bit high and outside. Yeah, I was kind of surprised she might have stepped out of the box to try and get to it with that front foot.
Generally want the lower pitches to bunt. If you go after those high ones, you have a tendency to pop it up.
Swung around, good bunt down the third base line. Mendez over to Twombly at first. Burkett does her job and moves that runner over to second base.
Yep, nice play by Mendez there. Charged in aggressively, made a good throw that time. The bunt gave him a little trouble in game 1, and this time they had it down.
Up next for the Thunder will be Ava McKinley. Runner at second, 1 down in the inning. Thunder would at least like to scratch that runner at second across home plate, even up the score 1 apiece. Ball 1. Just a little bit low.
Looks like a little outside there from what the umpire told the Hiawatha dugout. They like that pitch as well.
Ava McKinley hitting .262 on the year, has 2 home runs, driven in 5. And she's going to square around to bunt too. Gets a beauty down. That's going to be a tough play, especially with McKinley's speed, and she's going to be safe at first. And Ganstrom advances to third base. McKinley gets on with a bunt single.
Yeah, Thunder doing a nice job today of using the small game. Several bunts down really nicely in the first game and the second game to start off with, advancing runners and getting on base.
So up next is Reagan Garrity, who hit a grand slam in the 4th inning of the first game. Runners on the corner, 1 out. She's squaring around to bunt. She pulls it back. McKinley is going to take second base, no throw.
And as much success as the Thunder are having with the small game, I would like to see Reagan Garrity not square to bunt.
Yeah. When you got someone with her type of power in the lineup, you need to let her swing. And maybe that was just a bunt to getting Addison Williams away. Swung on, hit line drive right to Stover. Runners are not able to advance.
That is tough luck hitting. That was 2 bases for sure.
So McKinley on second, Ganstrom on third, and Emma Hermish now the batter with 2 down in the inning.
See how we do. They lived there in the beginning in the first game. 2 outs for most of the damage that was done.
Swung on, foul down the first base line, out of play. No balls, 1 strike.
Emma decided to try the opposite foul line this at bat.
Emma, another one of those freshmen. Swung on. That's going to be backing out of play down the first base line again.
And I joke a little bit with that she's on the first base side, but it is good to see her start to make that adjustment and try and time up these pitchers to get the bat head out there on time.
Oh, yeah, you want to use all sides of the field. She's been predominantly a pull hitter. Ooh, good changeup from Simmons, gets Hermish swinging, and Nemaha Central is unable to play anything in the inning. We will go to the top of the second inning with Hiawatha leading 1-0. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. We'll be right back.
Nemaha Valley Motors has been proudly serving our Northeast Kansas community for over 5 decades. Come check out our great selection of vehicles from Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and GMC trucks. Don't see what you're looking for? Our knowledgeable staff will help you find the perfect vehicle to fit your needs. Don't forget about service. Our technicians are factory trained to handle any mechanical issues, including alignments. Come experience the difference here at Nemaha Valley Motors in Seneca.
Come be a part of our family.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. First Heritage Bank, Life Care Center of Seneca, Mitchell Appliance, Nemaha Valley Community Hospital, and Shelter Insurance. So Nemaha Central threatening to score in the first inning. Runners at second and third, less than 2 outs, and couldn't get anything across. Hiawatha still has a 1-run advantage at the moment.
Yeah, some nice at-bats there. Maybe sacrificed a runner to get a batter to get some other runners over. Nothing wrong with that. Good to see the Thunder, again, hit the ball hard early and get it into play on that pitcher. We'll see if the second or third time through they can really start to pick her up and drive that ball into the outfield.
It's a game of inches. You get one like Mike Ganstrom had right between first and second base, a little soft hit grounder right between the two of them. Then you have one like Ganstrom had that was hit about exit velocity, I'd say good.
Easily 120.
That's what I was going to say too. Just obviously it's not that high, but it was a very hard hit ball, but it was right to the second baseman Stover.
I'm sure her parents were worried. That was a shot.
Burkett down now in the count. 2 balls, no strikes to Twombly.
Burkett needs to be efficient with her pitches here. She started 2-0 to Kylie Nelson, and that was the first run of the only run of Hiawatha's inning.
Yeah, she had to pipe one in there to Kylie, and Kylie hit a double off of her.
Mm-hmm.
Twombly fouls that one straight back. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swung on, lined out to center field. Hamas is there to play it in. They're going to keep Twombly at first base. Good hit from Twombly. And back-to-back innings now, Hiawatha has their leadoff runner on at first base.
And again, Burkett needs to stay ahead in counts where she can. You don't want to get down 2-0 because, as Cody said, you have to bring one over the plate or into the heart of the plate where the hitters can get around on it. Really get good contact.
Ruckman squares around a bunt. Good throw from the knees from Emma Hermish. Ooh, it looked to me like Twombly lifted that leg off of second base for just a sec. The umpire out there called her safe.
No call from the umpire on that bunt attempt. It sure looked like she offered at it, but that's going to go down as a ball, I believe.
So now Ruckman batting from the right-hand side now. Swung on and missed. Looks to be 1 ball, 1 strike.
Getting back to your umpires. It's night tonight who's going to give you the count.
Ball in the dirt. Good block by Emma Hermish, not allowing Twombly to take third base. 2-1 the count to Ruckman.
Yeah, Burkett needs to kind of dial it in here. You need to help your catcher out with a runner in scoring position, especially. You need to help your catcher out and not put him in the dirt for him.
Swung on, little grounder out to shortstop. Play over to one. Nordis has it for the first out of the inning. Twombly will advance to third base on the play.
Nice play by McKinley there. That's a play you really have to concentrate on as that runner comes across your face as you try and field that ball, and you really need to focus to pick that ball up and get a good throw over to first to record that out.
And it wasn't hit very hard either. We talked about softball being a proximity game, and on those balls that are not hit very hard, you really have to charge and make a good throw. Boy squares around, can't get the bunt down. No balls and one strike to Boy. Swung on, flied out to right field. Heinen's there. She's going to tag up. Throw to the plate is not going to be in time, and Twombly comes around to score on the sacrifice from Boy. So Hiawatha has 2 runs come across, 1 in each inning so far. Up next for the Redhawks will be Mendez. Good hold by Mendez.
Yep. Burkett again is going to work from behind here.
Good pitch from Burkett to come back, get that outside part of the plate. Evens out the count of 1 apiece. Nice job by Burkett pulling the string, getting Mendez out in front of it.
Yeah, and we see it with Reagan Garrity. When that changeup works, it's not just the changeup in that particular pitch that's effective. It makes your other movement pitches more effective.
Yeah, they're sitting there thinking on the back of their mind to watch out for that changeup. Burkett has one just sail a little bit on her.
Now Garrity also mixes that with an overpowering fastball, which makes that changeup really effective. But Burkett works in a similar fashion, not quite as overpowering, but when she throws the screwball off the changeup or a curve that she might want to throw, they have to think changeup, they have to think fastball, and that's how those other pitches get on them.
Swung on and missed by Mendez. That's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. Hiawatha plates 1 more. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hiawatha with a 2-0 lead. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. We'll be right back.
There's a place where we all come together. A place where everyone knows your name and what the usual means to you. A place for conversations and for comfort. And the best biscuits and gravy in town. We know what it means to love a community, to be a part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. SBS Insurance, United Bank and Trust, SNS Automotive and Towing, Nemaha Valley Motors, and St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. Marin Heinen will be the leadoff batter for Nemaha Central in the 2nd inning, followed up by Sadie Haverkamp and Caroline Nordis.
Interesting middle of the inning there for the Redhawks. Had a player take a little spill on the 3rd baseline, and then Addison Williams went down to 2nd base with a meeting at the mound and nearly took out the shortstop.
Well, I saw Mendez stumble a little bit. I didn't see the second one.
Everybody's recovered well. They're all out there and ready to play, though.
Yeah, they got smiles on their faces, so it's good to see him be able to laugh that off. Maren Heinen now the batter. Inside a little bit.
Yeah, the other interesting aspect of Simmons' delivery here, her pitching arm tends to have, it almost looks like a twist to it as she comes through. I believe they call it turning the doorknob as she comes through.
She does have a little bit of a strange release with that and kind of turns it over.
Which for pitchers, you know, it's probably still effective for her, but my guess is she may be a little inconsistent in the strike zone from time to time, because when you tend to lose it with that type of delivery, you might lose it for a little while.
Close pitch. Did not catch any of it. 3-0. Strike one called. That was looked to be a take all the way for Maren Heinen. 3-1 the count. Ooh, Maren Heinen helped her out tremendously. That one was 8 to 10 inches up the strike zone, right at her eyeball level, and
Coach Howe was nice enough to remind Heinen of what her first name was after that swing.
And Simmons comes back all the way from 3-0 and gets Heinen on the strikeout for the first out of the inning.
Yep, Maren will want that at bat back. She should be on first base right now.
And it's so big to have the leadoff runner in each inning get on base. Sadie Haverkamp, the hitter now for Thunder.
Had a good game, the first game at the plate.
Swung on and missed. 0-1 the count. Sadie Haverkamp's hitting .250 on the year, 1 double, 1 home run, driven in 5 so far. Fouled up and out of play. Quickly down in the hole, 0-2.
A little bit of a defensive swing there. She'll need to break that out again, I would assume, here on 0-2.
Offered at and missed. Strikeout number 2 in the inning for Simmons, as Caroline Nordis comes up to the plate for her first appearance of the game. You could say and she had a good first game, but if you're just joining us, all these Thunder hitters had a very good first game. They were swinging the bats very well. Just outside of Caroline.
And I assume Simmons is a little deceptive. She's probably a little tough to pick up. Like I said, her arm release is just a little different than what they've probably seen.
With that little bit of a hop in the delivery as well. Hard to keep an eye on where that ball is coming out at.
Well, it's just your timing. Like we talked about earlier, timing is everything, and when she holds it just a little long with that flip. So where you expect that ball to release at the hip, she's out in front on the release so that you're just a little bit ahead of it as it comes in.
Caroline Nordis ahead in the count, 2-1. Swung on, hit grounder over to third base. That's going to be the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 inning for Simmons. As we go to the top of the third, Nemaha Central down 2-0 to Hiawatha. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. We'll be right back.
Ag Partners is a full-service agricultural cooperative owned by area farmers, residents, and businesses. And our team works every day to help contribute to their success, keeping profits in the communities we all call home. We continue to look for the right team members to grow successfully together through our core values of honesty, integrity, and teamwork. If you're looking for a career with great benefits and a focus on your future success, come join our team.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. TFI Family Services, Souther Building Supplies, Crestview Nursing Home, Farm Bureau Insurance, Community National Bank, and Ag Partners. Alex Burkett back out on the rubber for Nemaha Central.
Alex is at 28 pitches here through 2 innings, which isn't terrible, but you'd like to see her be a little more efficient here, especially early in counts. She's had to work from behind a couple times, and it's come back to bite her.
Stover, the batter for Nemaha, or for Hiawatha, just outside.
You're doing a really nice job with the innings tonight, Cody.
Yeah, I haven't messed up on the innings yet. Thanks for telling me that. I will promptly mess up. 2-0, the count to Stover.
I assume, like any pro, it was all the practice you put in the last week or so.
Yeah, I sat at home and just watched game after game of softball, talking to myself. The family thought I was crazy, but they always do. Good pitch from Burkett, swung on by Stover, but no contact. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Offered at by Stover.
That looked like the screwball. In on the hands, the foot came across the body. Stover looked fairly confused by it as well. Just a little bit behind it, swung right past it. 2-2 feels like a fastball count here.
We'll see what Coach Haug dials up from the dugout. Got her with the changeup. Little bobble by Burkett on the mound, but gets it over to Nordis for the first out of the inning. That's going to turn the lineup over, and Kylie Nelson is going to come up for Hiawatha. Kylie hit a double in the first inning, came around to score on that as well.
Nice play by Burkett there. Stay calm, pick the ball up, and give it the little flip. No reason to panic. Record the out.
Ooh, just outside. Kylie Nelson, 1-0. Swung on, foul, backing out of play. 1-1 the count. It's important for Burkett here to not let this lead by Hiawatha expand much.
Yeah.
I mean, even one more run is very doable, but you obviously don't want it. Anything they put up another 2-3 runs over the next couple innings. It's going to be hard to come back from. And Nelson hits a line drive that's going to be in between shortstop and left field. Ganstrom does a good job getting it in, holding Nelson to a single. So Nelson has a single and a double so far in this game.
Looks like runner for Nelson here. This will be a pinch runner. Mueller in to run for Kylie Nelson. Wonder if she is not a little sore from that tumble over the fence in the first game.
That could be. Give her a little bit of a break on the bases. Like you said in the first game, you are allowed 1 re-entry.
And she's a kid as well that's dealt with some injury in her athletic career. Had to sit out the track season, I believe, in her 8th grade year. Had some foot issues.
You do know this Hiawatha team well, don't you?
I do. Alex Burkett has played a ton of ball with them.
Just low to Williams. 1 ball, no strikes.
Apparently magic dust in the air here at the field.
That was, if you hear that, that was my ring going off, yes. That looked like that screwball came a little too far inside. 2-0 the count. Once again, Burkett working from behind in the count. You're going to have to groove one in there to Williams here, either this pitch or the next one. In on the hands again. Williams fouls it back and out of play.
Coach Nelson is had some pointers for the runner on first there, Mueller. I'm wondering if maybe there's a little hesitation from the runner to try and advance.
Swung on, hit out to Cook at second base. She can't quite handle it clean. Runner's going to be safe. That's going to go down as a E4.
Yep, really need those outs.
Mueller gets to second base. Williams is on first base now. Runners at first and second for Hiawatha. One down to Kenzie Nelson now the batter. Kenzie Nelson has a lot of power.
And we did not see that in the first game. Those balls were outs when they were hit on the ground on the infield. We recorded outs. And now you have the most dangerous hitter in the lineup with 2 on.
Outside pitch to Nelson.
This makes it tough to stay away from Nelson here, too. You're going to have to work somewhere close to the zone and give her a pitch to hit at some point, or you're going to load these bases.
Swung on, fouled back and out of play. Evens the count at 1 apiece. And it does not get much easier if Nelson does get on. You got Simmons and Twombly after her, who are very capable batters in their own right.
Right through the heart of the lineup. Probably work low in the zone here again, see if you can't induce a ground ball. But you've got to be careful.
2 balls, 1 strike the count. Swung on, fouled, left field side. 2-2 the count.
See how we work it here at 2-2. Probably stay away from a dangerous hitter like Nelson. Maybe come with that change up off the outside if it can locate.
Had her biting on the inside pitch there. I'd come with this waist pitch just a little bit more on that screwball on the hands. High fly ball out to center field. Holmes is tracking it, and she's going to squeeze it for out number 2. They're going to tag up. Snap throw back to second, and she's in there.
Way to play it by the Thunder, though. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Good heads-up play by Holmes. That's not a play you think they're going to be tagging up on. 2 down now in the inning. Maddie Simmons up to bat for Hiawatha. Runners on first and second. Fouled back. No balls, 1 strike. The count to Simmons. Swung on, grounder past Caroline Nordis. Cook has it, and she's a foot race all the way to first base. And Maggie Cook outruns Twombly, or Simmons, I apologize, to first base. Good backup.
Makes up for that play earlier that started this whole inning. She bobbled the ball on that first one for an error and comes back, picks up a really tough ball, and takes it to first base to get him out of the inning. Nice play.
Yes, that was a great job. As we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, Hiawatha has a 2-run advantage, 2-0. We'll be back after some of these messages from our sponsors. You're watching SCTV.
Every day, hardworking people wake up early and open their doors to the people in their community. They provide more than just goods and services. They create relationships. Small business is alive and well, making life in our communities possible. You know what it means to support, to be part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. Rainbow Communications, Sailor Insurance, Elk State Bank, United Methodist Church, and Water Conditioning of Seneca. Well, the cat is out of the bag. We talked about it a little bit in the first game. But I am sitting here next to a local celebrity, the guitar player for, what was the name of the band again?
The band didn't actually have a name.
Okay.
The band, the Night Before the Music Died was the name of the production that we put on by the Northeast Kansas Arts Foundation, one of their biggest fundraisers of the year, and it was a wild success from what I have heard, thanks to the support of the community, showing up in big numbers and being loud and energetic and having a good time.
We went on Saturday night. It was a wonderful show all the way from top to bottom, from the little videos you played in between the songs and obviously the songs themselves.
I take no credit for any of that. All I had to do was show up and play my guitar.
Maggie Cook, now the batter, fouls one down the first base line. No one's going to be able to reach it. 0-1. The wind is starting to pick up, even more so than it had been. I looked at the radar, just a couple of little pop-up thunderstorms look like they're going to skip to the north. So hopefully this game is not in jeopardy at the moment. 1-1 the count to Cook.
It's another game that's moving right along. We're already in the bottom of the third.
2-1. Good pitching on both sides can speed up a game immensely.
Yeah.
Swung on, fouled back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Cook. Simmons had a 1-2-3 that last inning. In the first inning, Nemaha Central was able to get their leadoff runner on. That would be very big if Cook could somehow manage to find herself on base. Right as I say that, she offers at strike 3. Out number 1 in the inning, Maya Ganstrom up to bat now. Hit a single in the first inning.
Yeah, Simmons at 33 pitches here has been fairly productive.
So this is the second time through the order. Let's see if there's any change in approach from the Thunder. Ball low. To know the count. Well, we talked about with Alex, you get down in those 2-0, 3-0 counts, pretty soon you're going to have to groove one. Let's see if she can get one right across the plate for Ganstrom here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to the batter at that point to take advantage.
And she does.
Ganstrom hits a...
Down.
Oh, no, that's going to be an error on Quinn Boyle hitting the palm of her glove. And Ganstrom is on first base. Quinn Boyle she had a good break on it. She was running the entire way. It was going to be a tough catch. She couldn't really square up underneath of it and throws her glove up there. Just a bad break if you're a boy.
Very bad break. She had it the whole way. It was in her glove. That wasn't out, and it popped right out.
Alex Birkin now the batter with 1 down and runner on first. Swung on and missed. Snap throw back to first. Ganstrom's back easily.
By my calculations, the softball gods still owe Maya 1 more base. we decide that was a double or a triple they took away in the first game, and now she has 2 seeing eye singles or a seeing eye single and an error.
I would say that was at least a double. It would have been close. Being on the third base side, Burkett squares around to bunt, pulls it back.
Count squared for Ganstrom then.
I would say count square, yeah.
Nice pullback there by Burkett. You don't want to offer it a pitch that you can't do anything with when you're trying to bunt.
Oh.
Took it on the foot.
Yep, and Burkett wears one. She's going to get on base. That's our first hit by pitch so far today. So an error and a hit by pitch, and all of a sudden Nemaha Central has 2 on, 1 out. With Ava McKinley coming up to bat. Ava got a single in her first plate appearance.
Really like to see him do something with this, with the 2 runners on here, and McKinley and Garrity.
McKinley squares around to bunt. It's played to Simmons over at first base, and she's going to be safe. McKinley's speed legs out a bunt, and everybody moves up 60 feet.
And Simmons went to check the runner headed into second base, and McKinley's speed, she took full advantage of that.
So bases loaded for Reagan Garrity. If you're just joining us or did not see the first game, she did hit a grand slam in the 4th inning of the first game. So opportunistic hitting, time is right. Let's see if she can do something like that again. Takes ball 1.
And with the bases loaded, Simmons would like to be careful here, but there is not much room for her to stay out of the strike zone.
No. Ball 2. Snap throw over to first. McKinley back easily.
Yeah, Ava needs to be aware over there that that snap throw will come from this catcher.
Strike 1 called. This looked to be a good pitch for Garrity to turn on, but she was obviously expecting something else.
Now with Ganstrom on third here, if they do attempt that snap throw with an aggressive lead at third.
Swung on, line down to right field line. 1 run is in for Nemaha Central. Burkett is coming around to score, and they're going to hold McKinley at third base, and Reagan Garrity ties up the game with a 2-run RBI double in the 3rd inning.
Just a really nice piece of hitting. She got the pitch she wanted and drove it out into right field, right down the line. Plated 2 runs, and we're all square.
So McKinley is on third base now. Garrity sitting on second base with Emma Hermish up to bat. Still 1 down in the inning. Hermish is squaring around to bunt. Tries to get the bunt down, does roll foul. No balls and 1 strike to Hermish. We talked about Emma trying to use all sides of the field earlier, and right now would be another time to try and use that right side. Anything in the air on that right side would score 1, but nope, they're going to square around to bunt her again. She does get down a good bunt, and they're running from third base. McKinley is in to score. That looks, would you call that a suicide?
McKinley needs to be down the line as soon as she squares and shows bunt. If you're going to try and score that runner, if you're going to lay the bunt down there, that McKinley needs to be down the line to score. I don't know if I'd call that a suicide, but you would know that better than I would. I don't know that she was without a, you can't lead off in softball, obviously. You can, as it leaves her hand, you can break down the line.
Sure. We'll just say if it was a safety squeeze and a very well executed one from Nemaha Central, from Emma Hermish.
Well, and I think we give McKinley credit there, too, because you do have to make a read on that play of where the ball is, and as soon as they misplayed the bunt out front, she was home free, and she never slowed down in her stride. She made the right read, came home, and scored easily.
Absolutely, and Ava McKinley, obviously, we talked about it with her speed. That's going to put so much pressure on the defense.
Yeah.
So Reagan Garrity is sitting on third base. Emma Hermish is going to be pinch ran for, being as she's the catcher. I can't see. Is that Lena McKinley?
We'll have to take a look here. We're blocked by the coaches right at the moment. Certainly looks like Lena.
Yes, that is indeed Lena. So Simmons is going to stay in the game for Hiawatha. 3 runs have been plated from Nemaha Central so far this inning. Marin Heinen up to bat now for the Thunder.
Looks like we had a change at third base there. Maya Mendez in right field now, and Kylie Nelson comes in to take over at third base for the Redhawks.
Ball gets past Williams. High pitch from Simmons. No advance from Garrity. McKinley does take second base on the play. Heinen squares around to bunt, and that ball is going to be passed, and here comes Reagan Garrity. She's going to come in, and she's going to score. Nemaha Central plates 4 so far in the inning on the wild pitch from Simmons. Good base running from McKinley as well, moves up to third base in the process.
As we said, base running is a very important tool to a softball team. If you can put pressure on the defense with your base running, you're going to have a really good night.
2-0 the count to Marin Heinen. Runner at third, 1 out. She's squaring around to bunt. She does pop it up, and that's going to be caught by Williams behind the plate. That's going to be the second out of the inning. Sadie Haverkamp, the batter now for the Thunder. Thunder have plated 4 so far this inning. Looking to be greedy and get that runner from third across. Strike 1 called. McKinley back with the snap throw at third base.
Lena needs to be a little careful there. She had a nice dive back in to stay safe, but then immediately pulled her hands off the bag to stand up. Called strike on that last pitch.
Ball in the dirt, evens out the count with 1 apiece. So who is in center field now for?
I have not yet been able to figure that out.
Ooh, Sadie Haverkamp swung at ball 2.
Believe it may be Quinn Boy, but I'll have to get back to you on that, Cody.
Yes, I think you're right. And Maya went to right.
Yes. Mendez is in right field now for Hiawatha. I believe Ruckman maybe has moved over to left field and Boy in center.
Coach for Nemaha Central having some words with the behind the plate umpire. Not sure exactly what we're talking about in this situation. Let's recognize some of our sponsors while we got a chance. First Heritage Bank, Life Care Center of Seneca, Mitchell Appliance, Nemaha Valley Community Hospital, and Shelter Insurance. We were talking about Garrity being very patient with Garrity at the in the batter's box. Do you remember back when Barry Bonds was just raking everything when they intentionally walked him home with the bases loaded? They would rather give up
Probably
1 run.
Better than the alternative, right?
I think it worked out, if I recall, that they got the next batter to strike out and end the game.
Yeah, it would be nice to know what the discussion is here. And I wonder if maybe Coach Haug has some questions about the delivery from Simmons, but you thought those would have been addressed earlier than the third inning.
Behind the plate umpires having some words now with Coach Nelson from Hiawatha explaining.
Potentially with the defensive alignment, maybe?
While we have a chance as well, I will let you know if my phone will work.
I've seen your phone in action. This is probably about a 50-50.
Yeah, it's an old phone. Well, I was going to let you know what games we have coming up. Okay.
Kylie Nelson has headphones in her back pocket. Maybe that was what we're questioning.
Our next game for SCTV is going to be on the 25th. Perry is coming up to play baseball at NC. Then we're going to have baseball on the 2nd of May against Hayden. Then we'll go back-to-back nights where Washburn comes up on the 5th. Then we're going to end up our season on the 7th with Marysville at Nemaha Central. Back to live action. Sadie Haverkamp down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swung on and missed. She did drop the 3rd strike, but was able to tag Haverkamp out for the 3rd out of the inning. Nemaha Central plates 4 in the inning and takes a 4-2 lead. To the top of the 4th we go. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV.
What does it mean to be an independent insurance agency? Here at SBS, it means that our customers can be confident in knowing they are getting the coverage they want for the most competitive rates. With our independent status, we are able to partner with multiple competitive companies to quote your personal, farm, business, and life insurance needs. Contact your local SBS office today to find out what an independent agency can do for you.
Maybe there.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors: SBS Insurance, United Bank and Trust, S&S Automotive and Towing, Nemaha Valley Motors, St. Peter and Paul Catholic Church. So Nemaha Central able to plate 4 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. To the top of the 4th we go. Claire Twombly will be the leadoff hitter for Hiawatha. She got on base in the 2nd inning, a single, and then came around to score later in that inning.
Nice inning by the Thunder there. Way to get on the board and really take advantage of the good work by the hitters. See if Alex can hold down this Hiawatha lineup and keep her Thunder ahead.
Swung on a miss by Twombly.
Probably the best pitch we've seen Alex throw tonight.
Took a little off on the outside part. Counts even at 1 apiece.
And yeah, I do believe that discussion was about the headphones or whatever it is that Kylie Nelson had in her back pocket of her softball pants over at 3rd base.
Swung on, hit really high in the air. Ganstrom is there to record the out. Out number 1. That's a big one. Twombly's been a very good softball player for Hiawatha today.
Yep. No trouble for Ganstrom out there. Good route, right to the ball. Records the out.
Ruckman now the batter for Hiawatha. Looks to be lining up on the left-hand side. Look for a slap. A couple of Hiawatha players line up on the left-hand side. Swung on and missed from Ruckman.
think that might get Ruckman back to the right side of the box, but maybe not. Not the most confident swing from Ruckman there.
Yeah, and she's starting pretty high up in the box if she's going to try a slap. Squared around, bunted foul. Ruckman down in the count 0-2.
And maybe I'm mistaken on the batter here. I thought we saw Ruckman in the first game attempt to slap and then switch to the right side. And there she goes.
I didn't think you could switch back over after 2 strikes, though.
Now, that is a rule I do not know.
Yeah. Get somebody a lot smarter in here than I am. Anyway, Ruckman does. Swung on, pulled the string from Alex Burkett to get her strikeout. Ruckman was ahead of it.
Yeah, Ruckman never really looked comfortable in that at bat in the box at any time.
No. Quinn Boy now had a very good sacrifice fly in the second inning to drive in Twombly from third base. Offered at and missed. 0-1 the count.
Burkett looks like she might be finding something here. Taking a little bit off to get these Hiawatha hitters a little off balance on these swings.
Boy did her a little bit of a favor, swinging at ball 1.
I do like that pitch in that location in that situation, though. You've just got her chasing a slower one on the outside. Let's come high and at her and see if we can't get her to chase one.
And that's exactly what Boy did. She's down in the count 0-2. Outside part of the plate. Ball.
I'm going to say this feels like a good spot for the screwball again. Try and come in on the hands here.
Yep, outside, inside.
Mm-hmm. Not quite as fast as your fastball. She's already seen the high fastball on strike 2.
Ball low, evens out the count of 2 apiece.
Not a bad spot. Right there at the bottom of the strike zone, just below it.
No, that's a good spot in that situation. If she swings at it, she's not going to be able to barrel up anything.
Mm-hmm. Probably induce a ground ball, recording out.
So Boy works it from 0-2 to full.
Say 70% of the time this is going to be a fastball count unless you really have a good off-speed pitch.
Came inside. And Boy works a base on balls. Good patience at the plate by Boy. She did swing at one ball.
Mm-hmm.
But she was down 0-2 and worked a count full and then drew a walk. That was a good plate appearance by Boy. Mendez now the hitter for Hiawatha. Offered at and missed. Runner at first, 2 out, top 4.
Mendez has had a little bit of trouble catching up to Burkett here. Probably want to go heavy fastball. Maybe even bringing it in on her hands here with this pitch.
And
nice
Caroline Norris comes charging in to make the play in foul territory to record the 3rd out of the inning. Nice play and good job to avoid the collision between Emma Hermish and Caroline Norris as well.
That's how you help your pitcher right there. Caroline with a really nice play down the first base foul line to snag that ball and get him out of the inning.
Absolutely. So it's a 4-2 ball game. Nemaha Central with the lead. To the bottom 4 we go. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
Sailor Insurance has been serving our customers in the Midwest for over 90 years. At Sailor Insurance, we value every family story as we help protect their dreams and their future. Our goal is to make sure that you have the right insurance coverage to protect your family, home, farm, and business so you can focus on what truly matters. Learn more about what we can do for you at SailorInsurance.com.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. To the bottom of the fourth inning we go. Caroline Nordis will be the leadoff hitter for the Thunder.
Let's see if she can get us started here. So many times you see a hitter come up right after that play that Caroline just made, and you make that last out of the inning and come up to bat and just have a good at bat, knock one into the outfield there. Let's see if Caroline can follow it up.
Ball one in the dirt. Yeah, you get those juices going and the adrenaline flowing. Ball sometimes, after a situation like that, looks like a beach ball.
Yep.
Swung on, fouled straight back by Caroline Nordis. Evens out the count at one apiece.
So we were mistaken about what the third baseman had in her back pocket. She actually has a lower back injury, and she has a device that is supposed to stimulate her lower back. And the wires that hung out from it were a discussion point for Coach Haug.
Just ahead of it, fouls it down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strike.
I believe they wanted to make sure that it was not active and in use while she was in the field of play.
Fouled back, and that's going to reach the seats. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nordis. A little behind on it. That is not going to be caught. Stays in the field of play. Claire Twombly giving a good chase down there, but could not reach it. We'll do it again. Nordis doing a good job of battling up there with 2 strikes. Fouled off 2 now at least, or 2 or 3.
Yep, she's hanging tough up there. 1-2 count. Let's see if she gets one to hit here.
In on the hands, fouled straight back.
Good battle here by Nordis.
Absolutely. This is a good plate appearance, no matter what happens by Nordis. Swung on, lined out to center field, and that's going to be a base hit for Nordis. An absolute, that's how you teach kids. You sit there, foul off those good pitches, just stay in there, and then get a knock to center field for a single.
Yep, battle till you find one you can hit and then do something with it. And that's exactly what Caroline did. She's on first base.
Great job by Nordis, the freshman. And that's really, really nice seeing out of some of your younger players. You expect that from some of the older players that have seen a lot of pitches, but when the younger ones are doing that type of stuff, it really boosts the team. Cook offers at a bunt.
Yep.
Does tip it. Unable to get it down.
Williams, the catcher, takes one off the foot there. Looks like it got just around the catcher's gear to get around the toe.
Four to 2 the score. Bottom 4. Cook squares around to bunt and gets on top of it, fouls it back. 0-2 the count now to Cook. If you're just joining us, Nemaha Central won the first game in 5 innings, 10-0, behind a 8-run inning in the 4th, led by Reagan Garrity's grand slam. Ball inside. Good discipline from Cook. On tailing ball in there, she knew it was going to be out of the zone.
Yep, we just watched Caroline Nordis battle from 1 and 2 to get herself on by fouling off pitches. Let's see if Maggie Cook can follow up. follow up with a similar at bat here.
Caroline snap throw back to first. Caroline back in there safely. Had her leaning. Good throw from Addison Williams. Two and two the count to Cook. Swung on and missed. That's going to go down as a strikeout, her second of the day. First out of the inning. That turns the batting lineup over. Maya Ganstrom will be up to plate for the Thunder. 1 on, 1 out in the bottom 4.
That's third time through now against Simmons. I would expect to see a little bit better contact.
And that's when they got to Williams in the first game, the third time through the order. Swung on, hit high. Boy is out there, and she's going to catch it to record the out. No advance from the runner. That's going to be the second out of the inning.
See if the Thunder can pop off another 2-out rally here.
Alex Burkett will be the batter for the Thunder.
I believe she owes Caroline for the last inning and that last out. Maybe she can advance her here with this at bat.
Strike called. Inside part of the plate to Burkett. Caroline does not have great speed on first, so it's going to take a good shot to get her all the way around, but try and advance the base runner. Looked to be the same spot. Burkett's called quickly down in the count 0-2.
Yep, and as a hitter, you have to learn quick. You may not like that pitch, but if the umpire does, you better get the bat moving. Especially now you've got 2 strikes. You can't watch any of these. That bat needs to move.
Ball 1 high. McKinley on deck. Garrity in the hole. Low, evens out the count of 2 apiece. The wind has not stopped, but it's quieted down quite a bit. The temperatures have cooled off. This is an absolute beautiful evening for softball. Ball 3 high. So Burkett works the count full after being down 0-2. Good patience from a young hitter. Once again, one of those signs you like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then she swings at ball 4. Right as I say that, I apologize, Bo. That's going to be the third out of the inning. Nemaha Central still holding on to a 4-2 lead. To the top of the 5th we go. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
Some are old. Some are new. Some are just right. The perfect home is a place created from the thousands of memories shared within it. A place for laughter, a place for comfort, a place for family and friends alike. We know what it means to have a place we call home, to be a part of a community, to be united. United Bank and Trust, banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. TFI Family Services, Suler Building Supply, Crestview Nursing Home, Farm Bureau Insurance, Community National Bank, and Ag Partners. Thank you. Without all of you, none of this is possible. To the top of the 5th inning we go. Burkett is still towing the rubber for Nemaha Central. Gave up 1 run in the first, 1 run in the second.
She's up to 61 pitches here. Not much of a pitch count on these girls. They'll go 120, 130.
Yeah, completely different delivery. And you want to protect, in baseball, you really want to protect young players and those arms that they have. In softball, completely different delivery. It doesn't phase girls to go 100 to 130 pitches one bit. Strike 1 called.
The biggest issue you tend to run into is fatigue. Once you get up over 100 pitches, it really, baseball or softball, you're still out there working hard, and that 100 pitch limit kind of that's where you start to see the fatigue set in my mind.
Absolutely.
With most pitchers.
And it helps that we have an absolute beautiful night. It's not 90 degrees like it was earlier in the day.
Yep.
1 ball and 1 strike to count to Stover. Ball 2 in the dirt. When Alex has pitched in previous games, has she been able to go all 7? Or do they like to bring in a hook towards the end of the game?
Coach Haug will probably, if she could ride her pitcher all the way to the end, she'll do it. Caroline Nordis has come in and taken some innings towards the end of games. Other than that, when Alex has gotten into trouble, which she has on several occasions early, we'll go back to Reagan Garrity. Similar to last season, I believe Garrity pitched a majority of the pitches for this team.
Got her swinging. 1 down in the inning now. Kylie Nelson, the leadoff hitter for, or the number 1 hitter for Hiawatha, come up to bat. She has hit a double and a single so far in this game. High fly ball left field. Ganstrom is charging
didn't
in.
get a great read on it.
That ball is going to be down. And Nelson gets her 2nd single of the game. She's 3 for 3 so far. She's having herself quite a contest to the second game.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, they pinch ran with her the first time she was on base. So they won't pinch run her this time because she cannot re-enter the game anymore. So she's out there for good. And she's at third base right now on defense for them.
Was she the one that had the electronic device? Yes.
Yes.
Offered at and missed by Williams.
Which would also explain why it was the pinch runner early.
Yes.
Yeah, on that hit, it looked like Maya Ganstrom had read that ball a little deeper than it was going to be, so her first couple steps were back, and she just couldn't quite catch up to it when it dropped in front.
Low and outside. Evens out the count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Williams struck out in the first and reached on an error in the third. Grounder over to Garrity. She's going to go to 2. The ball not handled at second base. Throw's going to be back into third base. So Williams advances to second on the air. Kylie Nelson's going to come around to third base. 1 out in the inning. Runners at second and third with Nelson coming up to bat for Hiawatha. This is who you want in this situation if you are Hiawatha.
Absolutely. And not what you want to see if you're the Thunder.
Ball 1 high and gets past Emma Hermish. Runners were not advancing.
It's an interesting play all around.
Yeah. Hermish with that toss back in was a little off.
And Burkett went to chase the ball, leaving the cover at home. Luckily, none of that came back to bite him.
2 balls and no strikes to count to Nelson. This is a situation, in my opinion, where you're okay with pitching around Nelson, staying on the edge of the plate.
Yep, you've got first base open.
Yep.
Create a force out at every base if it comes to that.
Swung on line to center field by Nelson, and that's going to hit the wall. 1 run is going to score for Hiawatha. They're going to send the base runner the throw to home, and she's going to be in there. Nelson takes second base on the play. It's a 2-run double, 2-run single. Nelson will advance on the throw. So Hiawatha ties the game off the bat of Kenzie Nelson, and she's sitting at second base now with Simmons coming up to bat for the Hiawatha Redhawks.
Yeah, like we talked about, if you come into the zone there with Kenzie Nelson, she can hurt you. She's really that hitter in that lineup that can do a lot of damage. So.
Yep, you get behind in that count 0-2, and you kind of got to groove one in there.
Yeah. See if the Thunder can bounce back here and record some outs.
Nelson on second base, messing with Emma Hermish a little bit.
Yeah, this is where they will pull out the delayed steal. Emma read it well. Come out, walk that runner back, know that they're just trying to get you to throw to a certain spot.
Swung on and missed by Simmons. 1 ball, 1 strike the count.
At some point here, we might see a bunt attempt.
She does indeed square around.
A little surprised we didn't see that with the first couple of pitches there. You're pulling your third baseman off from the cover.
Yep, and Nelson does indeed take third base. One ball, 2 strikes the count to Simmons. A little bit high, evens out the count of 2 apiece. Simmons had flied out to the first baseman, then grounded out to the second baseman in the first and the third inning.
Burkett stays away there out of the zone, trying to get her to chase. This is a hitter you might want to go after.
In on the hands. That's going to right up against the fence. Garrity can't quite make the play. That's going to be a tough play. When you get that fence entering into the equation, it's always tough. If that fence were 5 or 6 feet farther back, I think she makes that play easily.
Yeah, probably got that play easily.
Still 2-2 the count. High for ball 3. The count is full.
Looks like Simmons might have wanted to go after that one, but was able to hold.
She definitely wanted it. Good patience by Simmons at the plate.
All right, Burkett needs to come back and make a pitch here.
Swung on line to the left field, right field. That's going to score another run for Hiawatha. Heinen able to get the ball in quickly, holding Twombly at first base, or holding Simmons at first base, excuse me. So Hiawatha retakes the lead with 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning.
Yep. Looks like Coach Howard wants to talk about it here. Let's see if she's going to make a change or stick with the young pitcher here.
Probably also giving a little bit of positive reinforcement, saying, I mean, you guys are still in this game. It's a 1-run game. Don't worry about it. Come back, get these next couple of runners. It'll be our turn here after a bit.
Yep, these Hiawatha hitters are starting to square up Burkett pretty well here, but she's going to work through the lower part of the lineup here for the next several batters. So it's a good opportunity to get a couple outs and reset everything and let your offense come out and do some work for you. Let's see if she can do it.
Claire Twombly, the batter for Hiawatha. Simmons is on first base. Swung on, hit high, and that's trailing foul.
Just
it's
foul.
Just foul. Very loud strike for Claire Twombly.
And whether she hasn't located it or they've kind of gone away from it, we haven't seen that changeup break out as much. She was effective with it early, and it hasn't quite come back here for the last inning or 2.
Sometimes pitchers can lose confidence in a pitch. Good block by Hermish. Snap throw back to first, and Simmons is back easily. One ball and 1 strike to count to Twombly. Ball 2. Ooh, just low. 3 balls, 1 strike the count now. How much of a leash does Coach Howe give a young pitcher in this situation?
In a one-run game, I wouldn't think it'd be very long, but
Ball 4. Twombly earns a base on balls. That's going to push Simmons to second base.
And here we go. Garrity is going to go ahead and take the mound.
So Alex Burkett has given up 5 runs so far. She is responsible for the runners on first and second right now before you can close the book on her.
Not her worst outing of the year. She could have been more efficient there. It seems like she'd worked from behind just a little bit too much tonight, and Hiawatha was finally able to really take advantage of that in these the last inning here.
Much like Nemaha Central started picking up on Williams in the first game. She did a good job for the first 3 times through the order, and that 4th time they started figuring her out. That's what happens in softball and baseball.
Yep. And again, Alex is not she does not throw an overpowering fastball. She has a good fastball, but it is not like number 22 out here who can just throw it by pretty much any hitter in the lineup. So she needs to be able to throw her pitches and locate for strikes. And if she's having trouble putting the ball in the strike zone or around the strike zone where hitters will offer at it, it's going to be tough for her to make it through an entire game. And as she gets older, she'll grow with that. She'll get stronger.
Sure, she's part of the youth movement that we've been talking about with this team, one of 3 freshman girls starting for Nemaha Central. Snap throw down to third. Good job by McKinley covering. But Simmons is in underneath the tag, and Twombly takes second base in the process.
I believe the batter offered at that pitch.
I think she did too. It should be 0-1. Yes, it is. Squared around to bunt, pulled back, but called a strike anyways. Now it's 0-2 count to Ruckman. To Ruckman.
Yep, nice pitch by Garrity there. Over the outside of the plate. A little high in the zone, but not high enough to be out of the zone. Really hard pitch to get a bunt down on.
Twombly swung on and missed. That's going to be the second out of the inning. That was Ruckman, I apologize. Quinn Boy, now the batter for Hiawatha. Right down middle part of the plate. Strike 1 called. This would be a huge boost for Nemaha Central if Reagan Garrity can come out and get them out of this jam.
Absolutely.
Offered at. No contact, strike 2.
And we're already seeing the difference here with Garrity on the mound facing this Hiawatha lineup. They had timed up Burkett, and Reagan comes in and starts throwing, and it goes right by him when they try and get it.
Swung on, fouled out of play.
Off to the right side. See if we get that one of those change-ups again.
Well, you're in a good position at this point. You can either stick with the fastball or she does try to pull the string a little low in the zone.
Yeah, might have been a drop there.
High fly ball that's going to reach the seats. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Boy doing a good job hanging in there, battling Reagan Garrity.
I do enjoy it when pitchers have that fastball working. they've thrown it by, and then they foul off right side. That changeup is a really effective pitch because that timing of that hitter has to be quick on the fastball.
Ooh. Just high. Evens out the count of 2 apiece. I was thinking she's having a hard time catching up with that fastball. I was going to waste a pitch there, go high fastball. Just like they did there. Boy being very good, doing a very good job at the plate, battling Garrity, staying alive, much like Caroline Nordis did in the last couple innings ago.
Yep.
Young hitter for Hiawatha boy.
You don't mind that fastball if you're overpowering, but when you get that right side foul off especially.
Swung on, that's going to be a grounder to Caroline Nordis at first base. She's going to take
job.
it to the bag herself for out number 3 of the inning. And Garrity comes in relief and limits the damage.
Way to close that door. 3
runs did cross for Hiawatha in the inning, and they do take a 5-4 lead going into the bottom of 5th. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
I'm Erica Bletcher, and I'm a nurse practitioner, and I work in the wound clinic. Often non-healing wounds can affect a patient's mobility, it can affect their health, and just their overall quality of life. If wounds aren't being healed, then it can also cause infection, we can cause hospitalization, more serious health conditions, and even sometimes surgeries, amputations, or death. So at the wound clinic here, we kind of look at all of that and work with patients to develop a treatment plan to get them back home and get those wounds healed as fast as possible. Growing up here, I loved the people, I love the community, so being able to come back here and work with wounds and work with the patients is the best part. I love just healing wounds, I love interacting with them, I love creating an individualized treatment plan with them and getting them back to their daily livings, and I love seeing them outside walking around healthy, happy.
Back to action. Bottom 5th, Ava McKinley up to bat for Nemaha Central. Hiawatha able to scratch off 3 runs across in the top of the 5th inning, putting the pressure back on Nemaha Central. Fouled. A little late on the fastball. No balls, 1 strike to McKinley.
Got the heart of the lineup coming through here to start the inning.
Yep, 3, 4, 5 hitters. Ball stayed up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball outside, 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Ava McKinley. This is the Thunder's 3rd time through the order facing Simmons. Ball low, 3-1's the count. If you're Coach Haug here, you're telling her to sit on 1 pitch in the 1 spot. If not, spit on it. You could use that base runner. Ball 4. McKinley draws a base on balls, and she's got good speed at first base with a leadoff runner. Reagan Garrity now the batter for Nemaha Central. Hit a double in the 3rd inning.
Probably be a little cautious here with McKinley on first with Garrity at the plate.
Yeah.
You'd like to get her over to second to keep that drop 3rd strike out of play if it were to come up to 2 strikes, but don't want to run into an out with this hitter at the plate.
Just inside. 0-1 the count, or 1-0, excuse me. Garrity hit a double in the 3rd inning and got robbed in the 1st inning where she hit an absolute screamer to Stover at second base.
And Simmons has started this inning off just a little bit wild, so it might be an opportunity to move up without a steal.
In on the hands, that's going to be caught by Stover. McKinley's going to be back in safe at first base with no throw. Good pitch by Simmons, getting Garrity to swing on something like that and sawed her off.
See if Emma Hermish can pick her up here.
Emma Hermish struck out in her first plate appearance, hit a double, and got stranded on third in the third inning. Ball low, and McKinley's going to take second base. She's rounding it. She's going to look. Snap throw back to second. And she thought about it for a second as the ball got past Sage Stover.
Second baseman Sage Stover did a really nice job to just get enough glove to that ball that it did not go out into center field.
Emma Hermish now with an RBI opportunity. Magic dust. 2 balls and no strikes to count. McKinley toying with Williams.
I could almost guarantee you that this Hiawatha Redhawk team has worked the delayed steal in practice almost every time they step on the field.
Swung on, foul, back and out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. That was a good pitch to hit for Emma Hermish. Just couldn't quite get up to it.
Coach Sherry Nelson loves the delayed steal. It's one of her favorite plays.
Three and 1 the count to Emma Hermish.
So far, though, Ava McKinley's been able to distract the pitcher enough here to draw a 3-1 count for Hermish.
Swung on and hit, line drive to left to center field. And that's going to be in the wall. That's going to be, they're going to call that a home run for Emma Hermish.
Nice shot by Emma.
Absolutely, and that's going to give Nemaha Central a 1-run lead. One swing of the bat, go from 5-4 Hiawatha to 6-5 Nemaha Central. You knew it had a chance when it came off the bat, hit to center field, and there was a little bit of confusion. Thought it might have been a ground rule double. The home plate umpire immediately called for the home run. So great job by Emma Hermish driving in 2.
Hopefully the first of what are going to be many home runs in her young career.
Absolutely. Marin Heinen now the batter for Nemaha Central. Back up by 1 run. This has been a good game, this second game. Back and forth battle.
Absolutely.
Fun to watch resolve of young players. Ball 1 in the dirt.
Yeah, and Coach Nelson's going to have to make a decision here, I think, on our pitcher Simmons. She started to lose the strike zone a little bit, and what she's bringing into the strike zone is not getting by. It's not fooling anybody at this point.
That third time through the order has been a killer for Hiawatha today.
Yep.
Foul tip back into the glove of Williams.
And on the flip side, when you walk back out, you have Garrity on the mound now as opposed to Alex Burkett or another pitcher that the Thunder might put out there.
That's like bringing in Baumgartner in the 2014 World Series.
And with the run rule game in Game 1, Garrity really didn't throw that many pitches, at least not as many as she's normally used to in an outing.
Yes, she was very effective in Game 1. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count to Heinen. Just inside, 3-1 the count. Heinen, ball followed up by Sadie Haverkamp and Caroline Nordis. Still 1 out in the inning. Nemaha Central has plated 2 so far. Ball 4, and Heinen draws a walk. And that's good because she has very good speed now at first base. Sadie Haverkamp up to bat now.
Good to see these young hitters doing some work in this lineup for the Thunder tonight.
Haverkamp squares around, does get a bunt down. And Heinen, good heads-up base running, goes from first to third on the play. Claire Twombly, I do not think was expecting her to go from first to third on the play, and she kind of hesitated on the throw to third.
Twombly had her out at first base on the force and decided to turn and make the tag at first for some reason instead of heads up finding the runner. And Maren Heinen, to her credit, took full advantage and took third base.
Ball won the count to Caroline Nordis. Big spot if you're Caroline Nordis. She had a heck of an at-bat her last time. Sat there, just fouled off strike 3, 4 or 5 times. Swung on, hit off the hands. That's going to be in there, and that's going to drive in one more run as Maren Heinen comes around to score, and Caroline Nordis comes in clutch again with a single. Nemaha Central has fought back this inning with 3 runs of their own.
And again, it's the freshmen that are coming through for them right now.
Yes, it is. And I believe we are probably going to see a pitching change from Hiawatha. That or Coach Nelson's just out there to calm down her young pitchers. Maddie Cook now the batter for Nemaha Central if we find out who's going to stay on the mound.
Sure looks like Simmons is going to stay there.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any indication from Nelson there that she's going to go a different route. And she may not have any options at this point.
She might not. We've talked to some Hiawatha fans here today, and they say their numbers are very depleted. They do not have enough for a JV team, so
injuries have already been a problem for them. And I know Kylie Nelson, the third baseman with the back issue, is a pitcher, but with her back acting up on her, I don't know that you're going to see her on the mound at all tonight.
Maddie Cook now the batter. Runner at first, 2 down in the inning. Hits a pop-up, and Twombly is able to secure it in her glove at first base. So Nemaha Central plates 3 and takes a 2-run lead after the 5th inning. To the top of the 6th we go. Nemaha Central leading 7-5. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
On any given Friday night, you can find us here, illuminated only by the clear night sky and stadium lights. The ball field, a place for fierce rivals and close friends. A place for celebration, a place for family. We know what it means to come together, to be a part of something bigger, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're seeing a partial replay of Emma Hermish's home run at the last inning.
The part that counts, where she crosses the plate.
Yep. Nemaha Central, I mean, this has been a fun game between NC and Hiawatha. You know, a lot of punches being thrown, you know, 1 run here, 3 runs, back and forth game. This has been a good game to watch. Good learning experience for a young NC team as well. Strike 1 swinging to Mendez, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Hiawatha. Pulled the string. Mendez well out in front of it. Does make contact, but foul.
I would expect to see that letter high fastball right here.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count to my Mendez. Ball 1 in the dirt. There was the letter high fastball. Just climbed up a little too high. 2-2 the count. Good discipline from Mendez behind the plate or at the plate. Three balls, 2 strikes to count.
Yep, Mendez almost offered it the last one in the dirt. Nice changeup by Garrity there.
Swung on, lined out to Caroline Nordis at first base, right to her. She didn't have to take one step. 1 down in the inning.
Nordis looked very unaffected.
Stover now the batter for Hiawatha. Swung on, little pop fly right back to Garrity at the mound, or at the rubber, I guess. There is no mound in softball. That's going to be recorded for out number 2. Top of the order for Hiawatha, Kinsey Nelson.
Kylie Nelson.
Kylie. Just inside. Kylie Nelson is 3 for 3 in the second game with 2 singles and a double. She's came around to score twice for the Redhawks. She has been a thorn in the side for Nemaha Central so far. Pulled the string, had Kylie out in front of it.
And as we talked about in the break there, those first 2 at-bats would have been against Alex Burkett, and this is a little different situation against Garrity here, but she did see her the entire first 5 innings of the first game.
Two balls, 1 strike to count. You could not ask for better weather. I was really worried that we were going to get sprinkled on, get rained on. It was going to be hot. It has cooled off. The wind has died down. An absolute beautiful evening down here at Pearson Field. Fouled out of play from Kylie Nelson. She is favoring that leg a little bit. Wonder if that back injury is starting to get to her. Doubleheaders can be really strenuous on players.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you're already sporting an injury coming in. You can feel the magic in the air here at the ball field, folks.
I will shut off my phone. Doors out on the front porch of my house. We'll stop setting off the ring. Swung on, high fly ball. McKinley is there. She catches it for out number 3 of the inning. To the bottom 6 we go. Nemaha Central holding on to a 7-5 lead. You're watching SCTV. We'll be right back.
As a cooperative, Ag Partners has deep ties to each community we call home. Our employees have worked, lived, and volunteered alongside generations of patrons in these rural areas, building relationships through years of trust. Looking ahead at the ever-changing world and ag industry, we look forward to working and growing together to help feed the world. Ag Partners, partnering for the future.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Let's take a quick moment to recognize some of our sponsors. First Heritage Bank, Life Care Center of Seneca, Mitchell Appliance, Nemaha Valley Community Hospital, and Shelter Insurance. While we were at break, Bo was making fun of my ringtone. Is the noises that you might have heard on the broadcast is my ring going off. I don't know if you ever saw this. Tampa Bay, I believe it was, had Bark at the Park Day, where everybody had brought their dogs into the to the field, and the people at Tampa Bay, they kept playing the ringtone, the dun dun dun, for over the PA system, and every time they would do it, all the dogs would go absolutely crazy. Mike Ganstrom, top of the order, going to lead off for Nemaha Central.
Is this the 4th time through the lineup now?
This is the 4th time through.
To be clear, your ringtone makes fun of itself. I didn't have to do anything.
Oh, that hit Maya Ganstrom. She's going to take a hit first base on a hit by pitch. Alex Burkett's going to be up now. get some insurance runs for Nemaha Central in the 6th inning. Would be huge in this position.
Absolutely would. Let's do Reagan Garrity a favor here and plate 2 or 3 and really put this game far out of reach for Hiawatha.
Squared around and bunted towards first base side, and they can't handle it. Ganstrom's going to go to third, and they're going to hold her there. It's not handled by Stover at first base coming over. That's a hard play for a second baseman to come over. That's not your natural position when the first baseman crashes in on that.
Mm-hmm.
So Nemaha Central has runners on first and third, nobody out. And Ava McKinley will be the batter for the Thunder. She's squaring around to bunt. She does get down bunt, and it's going to go foul down the first base side just by a few inches. Do you know, does high school softball allow communication devices in the pitcher and catcher?
Boy, that is a great question, and I'm not sure if they have anything in the rules about it to this point.
McKinley squares around to bunt and fouls it back. Calling the high school baseball games, you'll notice that they have a communication device for the catchers.
Use one? I'm sure in softball they probably do have it in the rules, and my guess is it's legal, whether teams were implementing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
The softball community seems very partial to the wristband at this point.
Yes.
Very partial.
Burkett takes second on a no contest. Runners at second and third for McKinley. Nobody out in the inning. Ball low. Good block by Williams at behind the plate, not allowing Ganstrom to come around and score. 2-2 the count now to McKinley. McKinley being patient at the plate, works from an 0-2 count all the way to full. Swung on, line back up towards past the pitcher. That's going to score 2. McKinley's going to stay at first base as Ganstrom and Burkett come around to score on the 2 RBI single from Ava McKinley. Squared it up, just put it right past the pitcher.
Yep. Real simple piece of hitting there. Get the pitch you want and put it right back past the pitcher into center field.
Reagan Garrity now the batter for the Thunder. Squares around to bunt. I'm not sure if that was just to get in Addison Williams' way. And they had a steal down for Ava McKinley. Either way, McKinley did not go. She's still staying on first base. Garrity does indeed bunt. They're going to throw the ball to first and record the out. That's going to move McKinley up to second base. Emma Hermish now the batter. Hit a single in the third, then hit a 2-run home run in the 5th to straightaway center field. High fly ball center field. That's going to be caught by Boy. Good tracking job by Boy coming in. Didn't have time to get all the way underneath of it. Had to catch that on the run.
And we talked about it with Emma earlier, starting to make that adjustment. She's shown good power to the left side. She has good power and has had in the past in her career. and making that adjustment, fouling him down on the right field line. Well, she's got a home run to center field now and a deep fly to center field now, so it seems like she's really starting to read that ball well and getting her timing right.
Marin Heinen, they're going to try and steal third. Good steal from McKinley. Good pop-up slide at third as well. Marin Heinen up to the bat. 1 ball, no strikes against her. McKinley sitting at third base. Snap throw back to third. McKinley seems to be back in time. They do call her safe. 2-0 the count to Heinen.
McKinley with a nice lead there. That looked like a play where on the throw, had she come to home, she probably steals home there.
Foul back and into the backstop. 2-1 the count to Marin Heinen. Good job by Williams. Snap throw back to third. They're going to call McKinley safe.
And she needs to be a little careful on that read with the ball that pops out there towards that third base side dugout. The catcher has a really nice angle to make a throw there and nearly picks her off.
Foul back and into the screen. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Heinen. Nemaha Central wants to get one more insurance run on the board. They have a 4-run lead at the moment. Oh, then snap throw down to third, and McKinley
take 2 here too.
McKinley does come in to score. Just like you said, you thought she could score when they snapped throw down to third, and she absolutely did. She got about halfway and just waited for that throw. As soon as that throw went to third, she just took advantage and came across.
Yeah, really good read there. Really nice play by McKinley. Anytime you make that good lead and have the catcher's attention when that throw comes, if you have speed and you know what you're doing, you come home and see if they can make a play at you on the plate, and they could not.
Excellent delayed steal from Heinen, or from McKinley. Or would you call that a steal or a pass ball advance?
Well, technically it probably is a pass ball, but it was a delayed steal the whole way.
Yes. Arguing over semantics.
Stats are important.
Sadie Haverkamp, the batter now. Runner at second, 2 out in the inning. Counts even at 1 apiece. Foul back towards us. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled straight back towards us again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good job by Sadie, battling.
Yeah, she's got the timing down on this. Let's see if she can drive one out. Probably want to watch out for something off speed here in 1-2 after you've got both 2 in a row right back to the screen.
They come back with a slightly off-speed pitch. I'm not sure if that was the fastball, but Sadie Heinen swings through it to record the 3rd out of the inning. To the top of the 7th we go. Nemaha Central needing 3 outs to secure the sweep over Hiawatha. Reagan Garrity's taking the rubber. We'll get some quick messages from our sponsors and we'll be right back. You're watching SCTV.
Just a few miles out of town, the pavement ends. The world opens up, and you can see for miles. For generations, families have planted and harvested, struggled and prospered, all working together to build something better for the next in line. We know what it means to love a lifestyle, to be a part of a tradition, to be united. United Bank and Trust. Banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. You're watching Thunder Softball on SCTV. Thunder needing 3 outs to go to complete the sweep of Hiawatha. They won 10-0 in the first game. Up 10-5 in the top of the 7th right now. Reagan Garrity towing the rubber for Nemaha Central. Swung on, hit off the end of the bat, and McKinley is there to make the play. Out number 1. One down in the inning now, with Kinsey Nelson coming up. Pitch in there a little bit high. Inside to Nelson, 2-0 the count.
Thunder not really working to Nelson here. And with a 5-run lead, there are probably worse places that you could go after her.
But this is where you want to see Kinsey Nelson at the bat with nobody on. Just a little high, 3-0 the count.
Probably get something around the zone here, but not in it.
So Nelson draws a walk. 1 runner on for Simmons now. Simmons with a pair of singles in this game, takes strike 1 called.
There's a stark difference to the last at bat. Immediately in the strike zone with the fastball there.
Yeah, like we said, you kind of want to pitch around. Swing and miss by Simmons. Snap throw over to first. Nelson back in time. Yeah, and you are absolutely okay with issuing that walk to Kinsey Nelson.
Yeah.
Strike 3 called. 2 outs now in the inning. Nemaha Central just needing 1 more out to secure the 2-game sweep over Hiawatha. And Claire Twombly will be Hiawatha's last hope. Swung on, hit grounder over to third base. Burkett has it over to 1 to record the out, and Nemaha Central has done it. They win 10-0 in the first game. They win comeback fashion, win 10-5 in the second game. This was really a good battle between the two in the second game. 1 run here, 2, 3 runs back and forth. It showed some good resolve from this Nemaha Central team to come back and battle and get the win.
Absolutely. Game 2 here, you got some help from your young hitters in the lineup. 2-run home run by Emma Hermish really blew things open for the Thunder there. And Garrity picks up 2 wins on the night, I believe, if I'm not mistaken about that.
Yes, she would. She came in for relief. Burkett did a good job coming in, but
game.
She was hard. It was hard for her to find the zone a little bit towards the 5th inning, I believe, and then Garrity came in and closed the door. So good win for Nemaha Central. They will move to 6-8 on the season. Hiawatha will move to 1-13 on the season.
Starting to really come around for the Thunder. They've won, 4 out of 5 now, I believe. So getting some good things going.
Yes, absolutely. So I have been Cody Steinluggy on the call. Color commentating to my right has been Bo Burkett. All the production work has been done by Caleb Ridenauer. Signing off for SCTV, Nemaha Central takes 2-game sweep over Hiawatha. We will be back for, I think, the next game, the 25th, in baseball against Perry, I believe.
We've got Coach Howe cartwheels in the outfield.
And we do have that zoomed in, so she will appreciate that. So signing off, Nemaha Central takes both games from Hiawatha tonight. You've been watching SCTV. Thanks for watching.